refreshing saline solution through your nasal passages to clear out congestion, sucking out that springtime pollen and other irritants trapped in your nose. Navage springs into action quickly, helping you breathe more clearly in just 30 seconds. And you don't need a never-ending cycle of decongestants that can leave you feeling drowsy. Navage is the fast and easy drug-free allergy solution that helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Get Navage today so you can get outdoors and enjoy your favorite springtime activities. Navage is available online at Navage.com or in stores at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Target. Navage, Navage. Breathe easy.
This is trial attorney Jeff Kaufman from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind. Yes, another attorney commercial. When people ask me what they should look for when they're hiring an attorney, I make it pretty simple. 1, has your attorney been practicing for more than 10 years? 2, do they pick up the phone when you call? And 3, do they actually care about you? If this works for you, contact us at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546. Office, Orlando.
Buy a new Nissan today and make no payments till 2025. It's a slam dunk at OrlandoNissan.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Find out at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers.
The News Junkie is on.
The 3 best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day.
The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Thursday, March 21st, 2024. Lots to get to today, from I will die for this to beware of the fake parking ticket scam, and is the Neuralink test subject video real? Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Sabrina is out. Hello, C-Lane.
Hey there, Sean.
Hello to you, Josh.
Howdy, partner.
And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. Send us a dispatch. Go to newsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch today. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right into the studio in real time. How's everybody doing on a Thursday?
Better than you, it sounds.
Man. You could tell
a little bit. I think now that the intro music's gone, you'll be able to. You're not fighting it anymore. Maybe we'll be a little better. But
yeah,
you sounded like you were having a struggle in that battle just for the first couple things.
Yeah, that's the hardest part. That's where I got to talk the hardest. And I don't know. I mean, I'm just going to try to make it through the show today. That's the goal. We are where we are on the show right now. Sabrina's got some important family stuff that she has to deal with, so she should be back tomorrow. And then I don't know, if my voice blows out today entirely, are you guys going to do the show tomorrow?
I guess so.
C-Lane, you going to host the show tomorrow?
I'll do it. Yeah.
Oh, my man.
Host.
I think there's a decent possibility that could be in the cards here. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I got my little sippy here. I got my little my tea.
What's in tea? What are you doing? Some chamomile?
No, I got the daytime Dayquil tea and the nighttime Dayquil tea.
All right.
So far, as you can tell, it's working out phenomenally. Everything's going just really, really great here. So here we go. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And we go back to the courtroom where Young Thug and his friends are hanging out facing some RICO charges. And his attorney is really one of them guys, man. Young Thug's attorney is like, I will die for this case, Your Honor, in the middle of the courtroom. Just so many weird moments in this trial. And I'll tell you how long this is supposed to last for in just a second. It'll blow your mind. But here you go.
I mean, I'm not saying anything, but if true, that's a pretty serious accusation.
If true,
I'll die right now.
What?
How about that, Judge Glanville?
Your Honor, I object to this.
I don't care about her objection. I'm speaking with the court.
Whoa!
I don't care about her objection. This bitch over here yapping right now.
I'll die right now, Judge.
She's kind of objecting to your death. So, I
Yeah.
mean, she sounds like she's on your side, at least for this, and you don't care?
He said, if this is true, I will die, Your Honor.
If true, I'll die right now. How about that, Judge Glanville?
Your Honor, I object to this.
I don't care about her objection. I'm speaking with the
Your Honor,
court.
I object.
I'm
I'd like to
speaking
level
with
an
the court.
objection.
Okay. I'm speaking
Let him
with the
finish
court.
and then you can.
What the hell is happening here? One of the craziest things about this case is they said yesterday if they continue to call on the witnesses that are on the list that they have right now, this trial, and it's for this group of like, they're rappers. There happens to be some rappers in there.
They're hip-hop adjacent?
Yeah, they're hip-hop adjacent, and one of the main rappers, Young Thug, is involved in this, and some other guys, and huge in Atlanta, all these guys. And as I said, when they rounded them up, finally, the crime in a particular area in Atlanta dropped like 50% or something. It was absolutely insane. But now they say attorneys estimate the YSL trial could go on until 2027 unless they limit the number of witnesses. And I cannot even imagine.
I wonder if that's something that people do to try and, slow the wheels of the justice system.
Well, you know what sucks about it? How about if you were on trial and, they give you no bond and they just hold you in jail for years and years and years? I guess you do have the right to a speedy trial, right? But, I mean, this is not
I
a
think
speedy
the speedy trial, though, I think you have the right. I think the right to the speedy trial protects you from sitting in jail for years waiting for them to start the trial. Okay. I don't think you have a right to a short trial.
Interesting. Okay, so you're saying you have the right for your trial to start quickly, not necessarily end quickly, which is a very big difference. Those two things are very, very different, and that trial could be going on for quite some time. Rayan on YouTube says, did Just Okay, I think he meant the Just Okay casualty list is building. Wasson is next. I don't know. I mean, I think that maybe it was a tiny super spreader event or something. This is what happened when you shake like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people's hands. And afterwards, I didn't put my hands anywhere near my face. Afterwards, and I hate to say this, I don't mean this as an insult to you folks. Afterwards, I went over and I sprayed all sorts of hand sanitizer on me because there was a lot of hands. We were sitting out there for a while. We're like, hey, thanks for coming out. Thanks for coming out.
I didn't. I just powered through.
And with your immune system, how is it so strong? Strong like bull, your immune system.
Mine. So when there's more of you, there's more that needs to be taken down.
Buddy, I'm racing in your direction right now. I need to get there, obviously. Mine's dog water. It's absolutely an embarrassing immune system over here.
Keep Up says, so no secret show tonight. Well, it's not looking great, Keep Up.
We might have to do an emergency pod instead, really just full-on emergency mode. I just don't know, because the problem is, right now, I don't feel like it's the end of the world. I mean, I know I look like in the studio it's the end of the world. Check this out. Here's how you know things are going south, folks.
He's wearing shorts today, guys.
I'm wearing shorts in here.
No.
I'm wearing shorts in here.
In fact, when I got in and I started turning on all my things and I could see into the studio and I saw his legs, I go, oh, no, is he naked again? And then I was like, oh, no, he's just wearing shorts. That's different.
Christina says it's the pollen, too, Sean. It's so bad right now. It's impacting a lot of people. Yeah, it's everywhere. It's on the roads. It's on the side of the roads. And I'm allergic to a lot of things, but that's not it. This is like, when you feel that scratch in the back of your throat, then if you're like me, I'm like, John Goodman's character in, is it Flight? What's the one with Denzel Washington?
Flight.
Where in Flight, John Goodman plays a character.
Great character.
Denzel Washington has to go to court because he crashed a plane. He crashed it in the best possible way to save people, but he still crashed a plane. And they believed he was intoxicated. And he was a major alcoholic drug abuser. And so John Goodman comes to rescue Denzel Washington to get him ready for court. And he opens up a tackle box. In the tackle box, or briefcase or whatever, is like, I got uppers, downers, midders, righters, lefters, all the things.
Wait, you're like John, you have a tackle box full of uppers, downers, and midders?
Yes, except mine's all witchcraft. Mine's all like nonsense.
Snake oil?
Yeah, snake oil, fish oil, vitamins. And I popped it open because I felt things were going south yesterday. And clearly, I've had no success here so far. So, here we are right now. Quick shouts out to somebody, Richard Dick Higgins, unfortunately, who has passed away. He was one of the few remaining survivors of the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor.
Oh, wow.
He was 102 years old, excuse me. He was a radio man assigned to a patrol squadron of seaplanes based at the Hawaii Naval Base when the Japanese planes began dropping bombs on the morning of December 7th, 1941. We have some audio of those pilots. If you could play that for me, C-Lane.
Why, buddy? Why?
Just thought I'd say up for ultimate failure and cancellation. They said he recounted in a 2008 oral history interview how he was in his bunk inside in a screened-in porch on the third floor of his barracks when the bombing began. And he said he estimated the plane was about 50 feet to his side, 100 feet above his barracks. He described big red meatballs on the plane, a reference to the red circular emblem on the wings and fuselage.
Was that their way of, insulting the Japanese at the time? Like, look at a big old meatball plane.
Oh, man, that would have been frightening back in the day. The Japanese did us in with Pearl Harbor, but my God, did we get revenge.
Yeah.
Not only Fat Man, but Little Boy, too. And after that, we beat them so bad. I'm sorry to my Japanese friends. I've already paid my penance for this because I went to the World War II Museum, and they have in New Orleans, they have a whole section dedicated to the atomic bombs, and there's always, Japanese people circulating in there. And when you're walking around as it's just an American, you're like, oh, he's sorry.
Sorry for your loss. Sorry for your loss. My
sorry about that.
Sorry.
You're looking around, you're sorry. You're waving at all the people.
I just look at him and go, let this be a warning.
No, I don't do that. I had the same reaction when I went to the Slavery Museum in New York City. It's like a bit sorry about that. It's very, very, very uncomfortable. But we did do a number on you, Japan. We came back with a vengeance. Maybe too much of a vengeance, some might say. What on account of the nuclear bombs and all. A couple of emails to work in before we get things jumped off here today. I got to talk about a giant failure last night. Huge failure. Not me in bed before anybody tries to push that narrative out there. Something else entirely. But first to the email. tipsofthenewsjunkie.com. And Steve says, hey, Sean, just wanted to comment on the Dan Schneider thing. This is the Nickelodeon scandal, which we got updates on today. A guy who goes by Blind Pig on YouTube was showing the different things that were creepy about Nickelodeon shows. But one of the creepier things was how some of the older male actors were in kissing scenes with extremely younger girls. For example, I think there was an actor that was 24 years old, and he was going to be making out or doing a kissing scene with a 16-year-old, which is kind of weird, or a lot weird. Didn't know if that's been mentioned.
This is a weird question because it doesn't make it better. I don't think it makes it better. Is he 24 kissing a 16-year-old in the show, or is the 24-year-old playing a 17-year-old? I still don't think that excuses it, but
I don't know.
The optics, I think, were at least a little better.
He doesn't mention it here. We'll need more info from Steve, who sent this in.
They told the actor that played whatever actor hooked up with Stifler's mom in the first American Pie. They were like, "Dude, we had a sex scene all prepared for you, but you're 17, so sorry." And he's like, "Are you kidding me?" They were lying, but they got him.
Didn't know if that's been mentioned, but that was another creepy thing that came out. Dan Schneider thanks. I still can't dispatch because I have a Samsung Galaxy A11. My dispatches still sound weird. Hope it gets fixed soon. Thanks for listening. He says thanks for listening. Oh, well, thanks for listening to his email, I guess is what he's getting at. Yeah. Thank you, Steve. We appreciate you. Yeah, we're working on that. And as a matter of fact, they're working on some updates for the website right now.
I think some of the creepier things that I saw, not so much Dan Schneider, but the guy that was convicted of molestation or of sexual abuse of Drake. He was in some of the skits that they did or in some of the shows as this really creepy character called Pickle Boy who would just always carry around a giant mountain of pickles and hand them out to people. And one time he handed them through a hole in a wall.
Oh, that's weird.
To Ray Romano.
Oh, he handed him to Ray Romano too. Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah. And then there was another video of him when he was working with Leonardo DiCaprio, and he was like, "This is the hunkiest hunk that's next, right?" And he's like, he's like touching his shoulders and arm really, really weird. And you're like, that is. And then, like, when you hear that he, was raping a young teenager, you're like, nah, I'm watching that video and I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff. I cannot deny that. There's some very strange stuff, which is why the docuseries exists. And honestly, it's about time a lot of this came out and was discussed.
I think the thing that really sucks for Dan Schneider is that, this docuseries exposes that he was pretty much an asshole and created a hostile work environment. Some of the things that he wrote into these shows seem a little bit weird in retrospect. Some of them seem a lot weird in retrospect. Despite the fact that all these people were surrounded by adults. But the worst part is that he's literally lopped into this thing with Brian Peck. They're both in the same documentary.
Right, yeah. It's all together in one thing here. B. Shaw on Twitch says, Sean's face kind of looks like a frog.
Oh, gosh.
Is today the day to do this? I don't feel good. I'm puffed up, all right? I got all the things going on. The histamines are histamining right now. And it's a little bit much.
Is that Jack
I don't need
Bishaw?
you too. I don't know. Bradshaw's just trolling.
That's his burner account.
I had it coming, Bishaw.
Is April 23rd his birthday?
All right, quick break. When we come back, we have a lot to get into. A big failure last night that we'll discuss, and we'll roll into a big Thursday show. Stay right there. It's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Sure, you could call your family, but then they'll start calling you all the time. Instead, just say, Alexa, play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Watch out for an accident off to the side on I-4 eastbound. Approaching State Road 408, traffic is backed up to Michigan Street. Authorities are working on an accident on the off-ramp from I-4 westbound to Michigan Street as well, so just travel with caution in that area. Watch out for an accident on US 192 at Orrin Brown Road causing a bit of delays. If you see any traffic troubles, please call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Warehouse of Kissimmee.
Save up to 60% at the Mattress Warehouse semi-annual clearance sale, with mattresses starting at just $89. Plus, get floor model blowout pricing on select Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Don't miss your last chance to save. Only at Mattress Warehouse.
My wife and I we ended up mildly sick for a few months, and the nasal congestion was probably the worst part. I had like a post-nasal drip, just super congested all the time. We were taking everything we possibly could, but nothing really worked.
Kyrie was miserable until a friend recommended Navage. Navage offers immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Don't live in misery this cold season. Use Navage so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
The biggest thing Navage has done has completely cleaned out my nasal passages. It was from the first use. I was able to just clear out anything that was stopping me from breathing correctly. Navage helps me clear the way, literally clear the way, for me to operate better in the rest of my life.
Experience the Navage difference yourself. Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, Navage.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. I have asthma. I'm at risk, too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
When you call me for an injury case, you don't pay a dime unless we win. The call and the advice are always free. Injured on the go, just call Mo. 866-CALL-MO. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorneys.
The number one cause of accidents is distracted driving, like cell phones, eating, and playing with the radio. So leave it right here on Real Radio. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
Hey, let's get out of here. With Audible, we could root for a lone astronaut as he tries to save Earth from disaster. Maybe go for a run with the founder of the world's biggest sneaker brand. We could get the tea on the real-life media mogul succession drama. Or find out what life is really like for an Oscar-winning actress. I mean, with Audible, we could go anywhere. There's more to imagine when we listen. Hear the latest audiobooks, podcasts, and originals at audible.com.
Hi, welcome to IKEA and our spring storage event.
Oh, hi.
Save big on storage with lots of new lower prices and limited time offers.
Perfect. I'm making the winter to spring swap, and I have no idea where to put my sweaters and gloves.
We can help you get organized and store winter away. And we've got in-store events for more inspiration.
Sign me up.
Visit us in-store from 3/20 to 4/9 or at IKEA-USA.com/IKEA Spring Storage for more details. Offer valid dates may vary. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary by store and online. See store and IKEA-USA.com/IKEA Spring Storage for complete terms. Restrictions apply.
Sunnyside Plumbing.
Yes, I've got a leaking...
To leave us a testimonial saying how happy you are with our service, press 1.
But you haven't even...
For all other inquiries, please hang up.
Wait, what?
Hang up and call Frank Gay. We're busy watching the game.
You know what? I think I will.
When you have a leak, you need solutions on your schedule. A helpful expert who can find the problem and fix it fast.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
The Lombardi may have been lifted, but that doesn't mean there's no football to talk about. It's the offseason, and there's no better way to stay up to date with the latest from our league than with the Around the NFL podcast for news and fresh content all offseason long. From the start of free agency, where we'll break down familiar faces headed to new places, to the next generation of superstars walking across that stage at the NFL draft. Listen to the Around the NFL podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Heed the call.
Presented by T-Mobile for Business. Now is the time for 5G business.
Look to Orange Buick GMC for your next truck at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
They're best friends. Unless they're fighting. Are they fighting? It's
reviewers, because I think, and I'm sorry to the movie reviewers who may be listening right now, no matter where you are in this great country of ours, I'm sorry ahead of time, but only kind of. I think movie reviewers are some of the most worthless individuals that take a paycheck on planet Earth. I really do. I hate to say that. And I think it's your
Who else is on that
responsibility.
list?
Oh, where should I start?
Okay,
My
maybe not.
God. on the useless people list is movie reviewers. It truly is an absolutely useless profession. And so often they're wildly out of touch with the American public. That's why, friend, it is your civic duty to, after you watch a movie, to go do an audience review over at Rotten Tomatoes. That is your civic duty, because sometimes these movies come out and the audience score is like 80 or 90, and the critic score is like a 12, or the critic score is 100, and the audience score is like a 20 or 30 because nobody actually watches it. but nobody actually enjoys it, I guess I should say. But it's got the right political message or something. And sometimes this is so dumb. Like, this is really next level dumb. Apple TV Plus. I don't know if you're a subscriber to that or not, but Apple TV Plus has a new series that Courtney and I started watching this week. And as we sat down to watch this, I said, I didn't hear anything about this. Had you guys heard anything about Palm Royale at all?
No.
No? Okay. Palm Royale, I guess
honestly,
they're doing...
when you first mentioned it, I thought you were talking about that movie with Andy Samberg that was like a Groundhog Day style movie.
Oh, I love that movie.
Palm Springs.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was
all right.
good.
I
Yeah.
wasn't far off.
No, this is a new series by Apple TV Plus, and they've just started rolling out the episodes. The first 3 episodes are out there right now, and you'll recognize some of the people in it. There's a bunch of famous folks, including Laura Dern, who is from Jurassic Park. You'll recognize her for sure.
Kristen Wiig, right?
Kristen Wiig she's in it from SNL, and she's fantastic. Kristen Wiig is a really great actress to begin with. The whole thing is about, it takes place in Palm Beach, Florida, right? In Palm Beach. Now, not where I lived, because even though my family members, when I was younger, were like, you live in Palm Beach? And I go, no, Palm Beach makes fun of West Palm Beach. West Palm Beach makes fun of Royal Palm Beach. Royal Palm Beach makes fun of the acreage, and I lived in the acreage. So I wasn't allowed to cross the bridge over to Palm Beach in most occurrences. So the movie takes place in Palm Beach, Florida in 1969. And you got to think about what was happening there at the time. There's a lot of money in flux in that area. There was a lot of people who were moving there. It was one of the scenes you had to fight to get into. They called it like the Silver Sheets or whatever. And it was all about what the rich were doing in Palm Beach. And even then, their houses were worth so much money. And these beach houses that somehow still stand were there, yes, back in 1969. So I digress. But it's beautiful. It looks just like Palm Beach. They said it was filmed in Florida. See, Lane, see if you can find out, because, Schmexa, when I asked her last night, she's the garbage layer of AI, and all she could tell me was that Palm Royale was filmed in Florida. But I wanted to know if it was actually filmed in Palm Beach, or if they just did it in like some other spots in Florida where they could pull off a palm tree look. So see if you could find that out.
All right.
All I got was Florida. So anyhow, it's filmed in Palm Beach, Florida, or it's supposed to be in Palm Beach, Florida. And in 1969, you got all these rich people, and they're trying to get into the inner circles, and who's the most powerful, and who's throwing what party, and who's the belle of the ball, and all that. And some woman who isn't actually rich pops into the mix and tries to like sneak over the fence into the club, this Mar-a-Lago type place, and she tries to fake her way into the Palm Royale. And now the article I saw, the review on this from the Huffington Post that I said is just proof of how stupid a lot of these movie reviewers are. They basically said Palm Royale on Apple TV Plus has some of the most beautiful costuming I've ever seen in a television series. They basically said Palm Royale has some of the best acting I've seen from some of the best actors and actresses that I've seen in some time. They basically said Palm Royale has excellent writing, except they had a problem because some of the women they had like 2 groups. They had the rich women of Palm Beach who were like turning their noses up at feminism and the idea that, some people wanted women to work, go back to work in the workplace, and they wanted different rights for women, et cetera, right? They wanted a more equal ground. And they had this group of feminists in the TV show. And then they have the group of the rich ladies. And the rich ladies are like, I don't want to go back to work. They were turning their nose up at it, and they were snooty about it. And so those 2 worlds exist in it. And the reviewer is upset that anybody would be against these kind of ideas. And you go, it's 1969, you dumbass. I don't know how people don't get this. It would be like if they did a show from the 1700s, right? And you had like an overwhelming arc about slavery in the story we're watching. And they're like, how dare they do that? And you go, this is what was happening at the time. This is the factual, this is what was occurring. This is what ideology was.
I mean, this happens all the time, these depictions. I don't get why this one should be under a microscope when others, was anybody complaining when in Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, I think they went to the Catskills, and they're bowling, but they don't have automatic bowling. So they have the African American workers like resetting the pins by hand.
And you're like, that's what would have happened, you idiot. We have to show you what would have happened at these times. It doesn't mean that you're glorifying it, or that you're saying X is right and Y is wrong. It means that you're saying, like, this is a depiction of the times, and a depiction of women in 1969 in Palm Beach, Florida, would very well have been some of the rich ones would have been like this feminism nonsense with these hippies with armpit hair burning their bras and going to Woodstock and not bathing for 3 days is gross and bad, and we're here to get away from that.
So here's the thing. The idea of the Palm Royale is an amalgam of real-life places in Palm Beach. The Breakers, the Everglades Club, the Bath and Tennis Club. But the fictional version is a mixture of locations and stage builds. Many exteriors shot at the Ebell of Los Angeles. A bunch of it's on stages. And then a second unit went out to Palm Beach to shoot some aerials and wide establishers.
Isn't it crazy how good they are at pretending they're somewhere else?
Yeah.
Like, you watch these shows and you just think they're right back there.
Well, wasn't there a whole, like, Florida Man show on Netflix that was filmed in North Carolina?
Yeah. Go, wait, why did you even have to do that? Sometimes they go for tax breaks and stuff.
Well, yeah, where are you at with the tax breaks, DeSantis?
I know. Let's get these productions done here, for God's sake. But when I look at this, I go, this is such a dumb reveal. Disney. How do you watch a show where they did a brilliant job presenting it on the screen? By the way, I like the show, if you can't tell. It's fun so far and interesting, and it's a big whodunit. It's like Why Women Kill, I think is the name of the show. It's very much like that show if you haven't seen it, or if you have seen it. But when you watch these shows, the idea that a reviewer will be like, it looked good, the acting was good, the story was good, but they didn't have the same political ideologies that I have in 2024. They didn't have the same political leanings that I had so many years later. They were depicting how it actually was in the time. And that stuff is so stupid, so dumb. That's why it's a microcosm, but that's one of many examples of why movie reviewers are useless. And it is your civic duty, as I said, to when you watch a movie at the theater or otherwise, go to RottenTomatoes.com. If you use one of the apps to buy a movie ticket, you can usually be a verified reviewer through the movie app after you buy your ticket and go see the movie. And put it in there what you actually thought about this. It's just like Amazon reviews or anything else. We have to overwhelm the people who are the gatekeepers in this industry and take them down and hang them up one by one by one. A little far, but you get the point.
Your version of Handmaid's Tale only goes after movie reviews.
Just after movie reviewers. And I went full Wendy Williams on it. Death to all of them. All right, okay. We're going to get to you. In fact, we'll work in some of your dispatches here before you know it, momentarily on the show. But a Delta pilot is in big trouble. Apparently, there's some rules when you're a Delta pilot or any sort of other pilot out there flying around. And this Delta Airlines pilot, speaking of the movie Flight that we just talked about not too long ago, they said this Delta Airlines pilot was sentenced on Tuesday of this week to 10 months in jail after pleading guilty to showing up for work with a half-empty bottle of Jägermeister in his luggage.
That's a different kind of party pilot, I guess. You know?
And a blood alcohol level more than 2 times the aviation limit, which made me say, there's an aviation limit? Like there's a modicum of alcohol you can have in your system and you're still good to fly? And it's different than like, what do we have? Most states it's 0.06, 0.08, 0.08. Yeah, right around there. Vary state to state, I guess. But I didn't know there was an aviation limit where, you had a shot in the morning. You're okay.
It's 0.04 for aviation.
Is it?
So they can drink less than us drivers.
What is that, like a beer though? What would it take you to get to the average person to get to 0.04? A beer or two, and then you just hop on your flight?
Yeah, probably like one beer.
Let's go. Let's do this thing. The pilot Lawrence B. Russell of Fulton County, Georgia, was scheduled to fly a Boeing 767. This guy's 63 years old and he's slamming Jaeger. Good job,
right on, brother.
That's different.
That's something else.
I don't want to grow up.
Just going to keep pounding Jaeger at 63. Mr. Russell arrived at baggage control 80 minutes before departure wearing his pilot's uniform and lanyard, but his bag was rejected by the X-ray scanner when it was found to contain liquid. Inside were 2 bottles of the German digestive Jägermeister, one of which was open and just under half full, they said. He acknowledged drinking the previous evening, failed the breath test, and was arrested. And they said he had too much alcohol in his body, and now he is in jail for 10 months as a result.
Also, his pilot's license will likely be revoked. I would think.
Hope so.
So he also likely just drank the night before and didn't have enough sleepy time.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have enough time, what they call in the industry, from bottle to throttle.
Yeah.
And
Jesus, why is that even a thing?
Because that's what they say, like, hey, 8 hours from bottle to throttle.
So if you let's say you get drunk, you get nice and toasty. You get to like a 1.5 at midnight. Do you not think by the next
1.15?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 1.5.
1.5, you're dead. You're dead. You are the alcohol.
You can see the alcohol running through your veins. 0.15. Let's say you're a 0.15. You're nice and toasty. You're well over the limit and you're drunk. And it's midnight and you go to sleep. Does it vary by person that much? Or is it like,
Absolutely.
I would think if you went to sleep, you wake up and you're no longer over the legal limit anymore.
You've never woken up still drunk?
Does it matter? Like, do things like if you went to pee, do those things matter?
I don't know about the pee part because I think it's more your breath, right? Didn't they say that they were studying ways to make people not drunk and they were hyperventilating them?
Oh, yeah, that could be true. Yeah, I don't know. It seems bad that pilots are drinking at all. I'll say that. We want to hear from you. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Send us a dispatch right now. It's very easy for you to do. Go over there on your phone, your laptop, whatever. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send your dispatch now. Big problems in the world of Glassdoor. You guys know what Glassdoor is?
No.
Yes.
All right, one of us does. At least one. Celine, you never heard of Glassdoor, the website?
I may have.
Josh, explain to Celine what Glassdoor is.
You can review your employer on there, and you can read other people's employer reviews.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kind of like those teacher websites they used to have.
Very much so.
Yes.
Yeah. And also, it's like when you go on there, you can see what companies pay on average to employees of particular positions. So if they say like, producer, they say like, whatever job it doesn't matter, contractor, mechanic, florist, they'll tell you what that job is paying the people who go in and do these reviews because they anonymously tell people, hey, here's how much I was making. But that's supposed to be anonymous. That's the big idea there. The problem is full-on meltdown over there right now because they started posting people's full names on the website.
Oh no.
So maybe you snuck in and you left an anonymous review?
Because I'm looking at the website right now.
Is there like a note or something?
Well, no. It's one of those places where you can log in with an email address, or to make things nice and easy for you, you can continue with Google or continue with Facebook. Now, if I were a guessing man, I would think some of these people that thought they were going to be anonymous continued with Facebook, whereas I would have never attached my Facebook to something like this.
Hell no. All Day Yuckers on Twitch says C-Lane complains about Sean on Glassdoor. How great.
He said under the username Clawdaddy69.
How great.
Which would be a perfect reason for me to act like I've never heard of Glassdoor.
Yeah, Glassdoor. What is this thing you're talking about?
We got him.
Accidentally exposed
also
some people.
All Day Yuckers. I mean, we know who would be complaining about Sean on Glassdoor. Josh.
Obviously.
They said the website that allows workers to anonymously complain about their workplaces without fear of retribution is reportedly revealing staffers' real names in their profiles, prompting a viral backlash over fears that their identities could be exposed. Signing up for an account on Glassdoor required workers to reveal their full name, job title, and employer. Returning users to Glassdoor who
it requires you to do that?
Yeah.
Why would you ever be truthful?
But that's true. You could just put John Doe and screw around with it that way. But it says entering your real name is required to verify your profile, but other users won't see your name unless you choose to share it. However, they just started doing it. They just started putting people's full names out there. And they said, can you stop this? Can you take this down? And people were having to freak out. Monica, one of these people her full name was out there, accused Glassdoor of taking a real name gleaned from the email and adding it to her account without her consent. They do not care that this puts people at risk with their employers. They do not care that this seems to run counter to their own data privacy policies. What do you think? Have you ever gone on Glassdoor and reviewed your employer? And if so, was it good? Was it bad? Was there fallout? And would you do it publicly? Let us know all of that. What are you thinking? Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Send us a dispatch right now. When we come back, another scam for you to be aware of. This is something you need to have on your radar because this is hitting people all over the place. What is it? It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is The Jim Colbert Show. A full frontal comedy lobotomy. The Jim Colbert Show. Weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast on this Thursday. For today, we'll expect a mostly sunny sky and warm temperatures. We'll expect highs to climb into the upper 70s and low 80s, with a high of 81 degrees for Orlando. Clouds will increase late this afternoon and into this evening. That will be out ahead of our next round of some showers set to arrive for our Friday, which is a weather impact day due to the potential of some isolated heavier downpours. We'll expect some shower and thunderstorm action as well into our Saturday. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Silk. Feel plenty good. Shop wherever you find groceries. Feel plenty good by incorporating Silk into your morning routine. Silk's delicious plant-based beverages help bring a daily dose of goodness. They are rich in calcium and a good source of vitamins A and D to support the health of you and your family. Shop wherever you find groceries.
One of my favorite things about that mortgage guy Don from thatmortgageguydon.com is the fact that he is part of the Real Radio family. That's right, every Saturday morning you can hear the Home Loans Radio Show. Hear Don and his crew answer your questions live on the air, pull back the curtain on the mortgage business, explain the real mortgage process to you because he wants you to know how it works. Get the process started today with an expert and a friend that you could trust by going to thatmortgageguydon.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with thatmortgageguydon.com.
A Fifth Third Better means we put in 166.7%.
What does that mean?
Well, at Fifth Third Bank, our name equals 166.7%. So that's how hard we work. That means free checking, no hidden fees, and helping to protect your identity.
Explain it in baseball terms?
It's a home run.
Basketball terms?
It's a slam dunk.
Football.
Touchdown.
Highlight?
Buzzball.
Cricket.
Golden duck.
Wow. Guess that really is a Fifth Third Better.
That's what a Fifth Third Better means. This is banking a Fifth Third Better. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
It's spring. Time to gather your friends and family and fire up the grill with some Kingsford charcoal. Because everything tastes better cooked on the grill. Whether it's a casual get-together or a special occasion, Kingsford Original will give your food that authentic, wood-fired barbecue flavor everyone craves.
Wow. This is so good.
Because it's not spring until you've thrown some burgers on the grill. With Kingsford Original Charcoal, America's grilling expert. Kingsford.com.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war in term life. Industry rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month, level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call for a free quote today. 800-200-2250. That's 800-200-2250. Don't wait. Call 800-200-2250. 800-200-2250. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
Hey, what's good, guys? This is Angel from the Monsters. You guys know I love to cook on my Big Green Egg. Why? It's impressive, and everything turns out great on the Big Green Egg. If you don't have one, you got to go to Wassy's Meat Market and get a Big Green Egg. They have the lowest prices in the country. They also have all the accessories, everything that you need. They have the classroom set up so you can teach you the basic techniques on the Big Green Egg and advanced techniques on the Big Green Egg as well. When you get the Big Green Egg from Wassy's Meat Market, there's a lifetime guarantee, so check them out. It's Wassy's Meat Market. Check them on Instagram or go to their website, wassysmeatmarket.com in Melbourne on Wickham Road. It's Wassy's Meat Market.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 original stations like 24/7 Comedy.
They were really donut holes. The bag would be empty.
When you need to laugh, just open the free iHeartRadio app and search Comedy.
Should we call someone? I'm like, no, that's his face.
iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
Try Marco's new cheesy melty Pizzoli for free when you purchase one large or extra large menu price pizza. One free fully loaded handheld Pizzoli with your Marco's Pizza. Order this slam dunk deal before the clock runs out. Limited time only. Limit 2 per order. See store or marcos.com for details.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
No one's really sure what all C-Lane's buttons actually do. This is the news.
Be aware of this stuff. Otherwise, they'll screw you over, too. And this one is kind of genius. What's happening? That's coming up in a moment here. First, tips at thenewsjunkie.com. And Shane emails. It says, hey, News Junkie, #1 day star here. I do not want to be kept anonymous. Okay, you can put that at the beginning of the email, too. Usually, you put if you do want to be kept anonymous, but this works, too. That's fine, I think. Sean, I found your perspectives about immigration to the United States refreshing. Well, thank you. Myself being an immigrant from Jamaica and now being a U.S. citizen, I feel blessed. Thousands of people would do anything to be in my position. Don't get me wrong, just like anywhere else, the U.S. has its issues, but these issues are cartoonish compared to what goes on in many third world countries, especially regarding health care. Oh, my God. I mean, like, look and compare to Haiti right now, what you have in the United States of America. And there's a giant portion of this country that thinks it's a smart political ideology just to say America bad about everything. But it never works because at the end of the day, people go, yeah, America's got its problems, but overall, this is the place I'd rather be. You don't see people emigrating to other countries from America en masse. It just doesn't happen. And if it does, it's mega rich people. Why are they doing it? To avoid some taxes here sometimes, right? Those are the things you see. Anyhow, he says, I agree with you 1,000% about assimilation. I get tired of seeing immigrants coming here from other places. Then they immediately start tearing the country apart, trying to transform the culture to the culture they came from. At home with my family, I could celebrate my culture. When I'm outside, I expect my culture to be respected, but I should not expect my cultural norms to be the American norm, exactly as it should be for any American traveling to any other place, right? I agree with you, and I believe that this should be the other way, too. I wouldn't go to Saudi Arabia and be like, hey, what's good? Here I am in my Borat thong, everybody. No, I would say they have like cultural norms here.
It'd be hilarious if you did, though. Just see how long you last.
Not long on the streets with that.
Take this guy to the embassy.
Never going to see him again. When I'm outside, I expect my culture to be respected, but I should not expect my cultural norms to be the American norm. Just visiting a dollar store here in the U.S., such a concept is non-existent where I'm from. What a world. Sean, I love your balanced views. I enjoy learning about current affairs from your show. To Sabrina, give little Carl a kiss for me. To C-Lane, I would say give Jack a kiss for me, but that would be a little weird. Appreciate the show, guys. He says, all right, thank you so much. #1 day star /Shane. Appreciate you. Yeah, I've always been that way. And one thing I think it can happen is, as I've said before, you can get stuck in algorithms and get stuck in like silos. And so you could, if you watch the wrong channel or listen to the wrong show enough, all of a sudden you're like, oh, we got to get all these immigrants out of here. But then if you get exposed to and hang out with, like, let's just say there's a block of people who are originally from Mexico in your neighborhood. And at first you walk by and you're like, what the hell? This is America. Then you start to like talk to them, get to know them. And then you realize these are some of the hardest working people in the neighborhood. They're some of the most proud Americans now in the neighborhood. I don't know that I've ever gone by. This is true from my experience. I don't know that I've ever gone by a Mexican's house and seen a Mexican flag outside. Once they come to America, I see them with more American flags than the Americans have. They don't hate this country, and they will be down, for the most part, to assimilate. So I love immigrants. I think we need immigrants in this country. I don't think we just need open borders. I think that's stupid. I think we need to make sure things are working efficiently. But I like when people come to this country, and I want people to want to come here. Tips of the newsjunkie.com. Kathy says, just okay 8. She said, I had the best time of my life. I'm still recovering from the show.
Crazy.
Love the party. I thought people were going to jump off the roof onto the 104.1 air mattress at one point. Okay. My son loved the Shabooms. I bought him a nice shirt. First person we met turns out to live a mile from us. Port St. Losers, they say. Or she says. He looks exactly like Captain Spaulding from Rob Zombie's movie, The Devil's Rejects. I met Mo, who helped me out last year. I met C-Lane, who broke my rib while delivering mail 2.5 years ago. I don't know what that means.
It was a joke that I made that was so funny as she broke the rib.
Oh, of course.
She told me that too.
Congratulations. Met Kicking Man from Iowa and signed his shirt. Worst experience was the effing diverging diamond. FHP were all over the diamond. Took me 40 minutes to go 1 dang mile. I would do it all again, says Kathy. Well, thank you, Kathy. Now on to this scam that you need to be aware of. Have this on your radar because this is the real deal. I will say, I'm not saying this because I think I'm smart. I'm saying this because, well, I just think I would never fall for this. But people are reportedly placing fake parking tickets on vehicles these days. And in one such story in New Smyrna Beach, Florida, in some cases, they put an index card. And it's like handwritten, and it says,
"Come on." When I saw this story, I go, "What's the crime being committed here? Is it impersonating an officer of the law?"
It must be, right?
I mean, a lot of times parking tickets are written by non-police officers these days. They have like a traffic company or something that kind of takes care of all that, and it has some sort of jurisdiction to issue these things. My question would be, where's your gain?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this seems like just a prank.
What are you getting?
They're not paying you. Unless on the fake parking ticket, you set up a fake parking ticket website with a credit card form on it.
Well, the people who were trying to do this said they couldn't get the website to load. Like the website wasn't loading for them and the number wasn't working. I thought originally, C-Lane, that the scam would go like this. Let's say Josh gets a parking ticket.
Never.
Right? He's parking in his beautiful new vehicle, and he parks in the wrong place, and they go, Mr. Joshua Fowler, that's $100 parking ticket for you.
No.
And then Josh goes, I'm going to pay this forward. I'm going to place a new fake ticket on C-Lane's windshield, and I'm going to put all the information in here. So C-Lane goes to pay what he thinks is his parking ticket, but it's actually my parking ticket. And I don't even know if you could do that or pull that off, but that's what I thought they were up to here.
I know that the attempt has been made because would you remember Post Secret, the website?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think much of it's around anymore.
Yeah.
They had a couple books. I have a couple of their books,
Mm-hmm.
or at least I did.
It was fun. For people who don't know, you would send in, like, to this mailing address, secrets, right?
On a postcard. And they had
On
a
a
blog
postcard.
where they would publish a bunch of them, a few each week that were interesting or moving or whatever.
Some of them, like, criminal. Some would be like, I killed my grandfather.
One of them that I thought was, wow, Sean.
One would be like, I killed a movie reviewer. And we never know where that came from.
One of them was like, one of them said,
to tell.
One of them said, my family thinks I died on 9/11.
We're like, wow, if somebody actually pulled that up.
But one of them that stuck out to me was like, they wrote it on a parking ticket. They said, I got this parking ticket. So did the guy next to me. So I swapped them. And mine got paid, and this one got sent into Post Secret.
I like this. I think this is a great idea. Try to get somebody else to pay your tickets, folks. And don't fall for it. if you see an index card on your windshield. That's not official. The police don't generally just put handwritten index cards on your vehicle for a ticket. No, I actually don't like it. But keep your eyes out so you can be safe out there, because there's always somebody trying to steal your money.
Is this a spring break thing?
Well, they're just saying it's newer. Like this is a newer scam. There's always something moving out there. What do you think? Let us know. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch right now. Let's work in one of these.
Can't believe I talked over the first what do you think. Here I am ruining the what do you think.
Don't worry about it. I'm only halfway there today. I don't know if I accidentally took the nighttime one of these.
No, that's a terrible idea.
No, if you push through, it feels cooler.
Yeah, Josh is right. When you break through that wall, that NyQuil wall, you got bust through like the Kool-Aid man. And on the other side, oh yeah, it's a good time. Okay, let's go over let's go over to Concrete Mike.
Happy Thursday, News Junkie crew.
Hey.
So, in the last 26 years that I've been pouring concrete, I have worked directly side by side with hundreds of different Mexicans, and I have to say, they are my favorite race of people. I like more Mexicans than I like anybody else. They're, like you said, hardworking people. They got great food, very family-oriented, and they're just overall good people.
I love how when people talk like this, it always just sounds innately racist. It's like, they've got good food. We'll let them in. We'll bring them over the border. I think about it like this. I think, who are the people who, when they come to this country, are happy to be here, who are excited to be here, who are excited to work, who aren't lazy, who will assimilate to what you would expect in American culture and not be like, nope, I want all the women to wear head-to-toe clothing with just a little slit through your eyes where you can see out of it. All of these different things that wouldn't mesh with American society, I think, are things that we don't necessarily want in large groups of people that are going to move to the country. Some groups seem to be better at it than others. But if you're just flat out against anybody coming into the country, new immigration coming in, that's ridiculous. Go meet somebody. Go touch grass, shake a hand. Well, not the hands I shook it, just okay. But shake a hand and meet an actual human being, and you'll see where you've gone wrong there, where you've been steered in the wrong direction. Okay, quick break. When we come back, we got to get to more of your comments, including one on the rules for pilots, bouncing off that last story that we had, and a tips email with an update and a very interesting twist on the missing 22-year-old Riley Strain in Nashville. What's happening right from Nashville? We'll get into that. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
It's like a text message with your voice. The TalkBack feature on the free iHeartRadio app. Follow Real Radio 104.1, tap the microphone, and speak.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Construction continues on Conroy Road westbound at I-4. The right lane is blocked. Traveling on I-4 this afternoon, you could expect your regular delays before US 27 and approaching Sand Lake Road. Around the perimeter of I-4, traffic is up to speed on State Road 429. No major problems on the Greenway. If you see any traffic troubles, please call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan Injury Law Firm.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. We'll always be here for you. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, let's get out of here. With Audible, we could root for a lone astronaut as he tries to save Earth from disaster. Maybe go for a run with the founder of the world's biggest sneaker brand. We could get the tea on the real-life media mogul succession drama. Or find out what life is really like for an Oscar-winning actress. I mean, with Audible, we could go anywhere. There's more to imagine when we listen. Hear the latest audiobooks, podcasts, and originals at audible.com.
Life is too short to let allergy and sinus issues hold you back. At Aspire Allergy and Sinus, we understand the impact these challenges can have on your life. Imagine a life free from constant sneezing, itchy eyes, and sinus headaches. Our expert team provides comprehensive allergy testing and personalized treatment plans, ensuring your specific needs are addressed. Simple relief, better life. At Aspire Allergy and Sinus, visit aspireallergy.com to schedule an appointment. Aspireallergy.com, and tackle your allergies head on.
Hey, Orlando, are you looking for new ways to save?
Well, on Verizon, you don't need to be on a family plan to get our best deals. Switch to Verizon, and for a limited time, plans start at just $50 per month for a single line, with autopay plus taxes and fees when you bring your own phone with unlimited welcome. That's a savings of $15 per month. And when you switch now, you can save on the things you love to stream, like Netflix and Max. There's never been a better time to switch to the network America relies on. A better plan to save is Verizon. This offer won't last long. Visit your local Verizon store to switch and save big today. $180 BYOD promo credit per phone applied over 36 months for new customers with one new line with your own 4G or 5G smartphone on unlimited welcome plan required. $360 local promo credit applied over 36 months for new customers with one new line. Additional terms apply. In select markets only. Auto pay and paper-free billing required. For unlimited welcome plan in times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
My wife and I both, we ended up mildly sick for a few months, and the nasal congestion was probably the worst part. I had like a post-nasal drip, just super congested all the time. We were taking everything we possibly could, but nothing really worked.
Kyrie was miserable until a friend recommended Navage. Navage offers immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Don't live in misery this cold season. Use Navage so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
The biggest thing Navage has done has completely cleaned out my nasal passages. It was from the first use. I was able to just clear out anything that was stopping me from breathing correctly. Navage helps me clear the way, literally clear the way for me to operate better in the rest of my life.
Experience the Navage difference yourself. Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, Navage.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code COOL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because your case matters. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. When good things go bad, bad things make headlines. This is...
Appreciate it. Even though it does seem like one of those weeks, I'm going to be honest with everybody, all right? It seems like one of those weeks where people are kind of checked out. It's like a spring break week. I don't know if people are on vacation. The beach bash is on. And it's in full effect right now. The kids are out of school. It seems like one of those weeks that we find ourselves in the midst of. But still, we must trudge on, even though I'm a little sick today. Sorry about that. We'll get to this email to tips@thenewsjunkie.com. And Samuel says, he's talking about Riley Strain. Let me set the base down before I read his email. If you don't know about Riley Strain, he's a 22-year-old who went to Nashville to hang out with some friends and party, and he was doing just that. Then he ended up in this Country Stars bar where he is alleged to have ordered just one single drink before allegedly a bartender told him, "You've had too much, we need you to get out of here." Now, at that point, his friend was walking with him down the stairs and out of the bar when his friend stopped and turned around and went back. All right, his friend who went back made sure the tab was paid and was hanging out with some of Riley Strain's other friends, and Riley Strain wandered off into the night, and he went in the wrong direction of his hotel. From there, there's several security videos that I've seen of Riley Strain kind of bobbling along and moving along the sidewalk, and at one point he just falls out of nowhere face first into the ground. At one point he walks by a police officer, and the police officer says, "Hey," and it's like, "Hey," all these little back and forth that proved that Riley Strain was alive and he was walking around Nashville, albeit in the wrong direction if he wanted to go to his hotel. So Samuel emails and he says, "Hello, Sean. I've been particularly interested in the Riley Strain disappearance since it happened here in my town." He lives in Nashville. "I've been watching the news and reading reports, but really for the most part, I've not been looking at much in the way of TikTok or Instagram or anything like that. I did stumble across a video last night where apparently people think there's a black car that followed him through several of the CCTV videos, and there's a conspiracy theory that he got into a car and did not fall into the river." Just for the record, I'm going to hit the brakes here. I think the most likely thing is that this poor guy, this 22-year-old, was drunk and fell into the river. Apparently, the river in Nashville, it's very steep on the sides. It's very easy for somebody to slide in there, especially if you've been drinking.
I don't remember being anywhere near a river when I was in Nashville.
Yeah, right by the stadium. Right by the stadium.
But I wasn't anywhere. I mean, I was across the street from the stadium. It was the first place we went.
Yeah, but I haven't been to Nashville in a while, and our Nashville friends should clarify on this. But I thought you're right in the heart of downtown, right? You go by where the Grand Ole Opry and all that stuff is, and a couple of blocks from there, you have that little bridge area and then the stadium in Nashville. And then I remember there being like a river right there. I don't think it's huge. Like, it's not a gigantic, don't think Mississippi River. But I remember there being a large river between some of the downtown area and the stadium. Maybe I'm wrong on that. It's been quite some time. Anyhow, he says, "I think I'm still in the camp that believes he did fall into the river, but I noticed something when watching the police camera footage that I decided to investigate."
Oh, I was by the arena, not the stadium. But still.
The arena, who plays there? The
hockey team.
Okay. I don't know if I was by that or something else. After the officer and Riley have their exchange, the policeman looks back down towards downtown Nashville, and in the distance, there's the tiniest little piece of audio, he says, words spoken by someone. I can't tell who it is, but it seems to also be followed by the possibility of the sound of a car door closing. I dropped the audio into some audio restoration software that I have and tried to get rid of as much of the background noise as possible. I've attached the original video, a cleaned up version of the entire interaction, and then a specific, very scrubbed version of only the speaking I'm trying to decipher. So we're going to listen to these, I guess. You should listen to it and see what you think is being said. Listen now, please, and then scroll further down. I'll put in the words that I think are being said so as not to taint what you think is said before you hear it. All right, we have the audio, C-Lane.
Which one do you want to hear first?
What are they named?
Well, there's the video, and then they're named Cop Interaction Noise Reduced 1, Interaction Background Voice 2.
All right, let's try interaction. Let's try the first one.
So the video, just the raw.
Let's try that. Just the raw video.
Raw video.
Let's see what we get from this. Is this a police body cam?
Yeah, he's walking by a red pickup truck. Looks at a black car.
How you doing, sir? I'm good. How are you? Good.
That was Riley. That was the interaction.
Okay, there it is. So After Riley says, I'm good, he responds to the police officer, and people were saying, this police officer should have rescued him. He should have saved him.
No.
Doesn't make any sense. He didn't think anything was wrong. He just walked by a guy, and the guy said, I'm doing good.
It'd be really depressing if the last recorded words you heard of me were me approaching a cop going, don't sound drunk, don't sound drunk. And they're like, how you doing, sir? And I was like, officer.
All right, so now the other one is, I did hear a little tiny peep in the background. You guys heard that too, right? Like after the initial thing.
Slightly.
There's a little tiny peep.
We have interaction noise reduced. You want to do that?
Yeah.
All right.
How you doing, sir? I'm good. How are you? Good.
Hear that? That little part.
Yeah, that just little thing. And this is what he isolated here.
Ooh, okay.
That could be an animal.
Yeah, I'm not hearing
If we're this close to a river, that sounds
One
like...
more time? I didn't get anything out of that at all.
Push me.
He says, depending upon different versions of the noise limitation, it sounds like the word party is being said. Now, can we play it after thinking of the word party, or did you get rid of the audio?
No, I didn't get rid of it. Here we go.
Let's see.
Okay, I
Party,
can hear it now.
It could
I don't
be
hear party.
But it could just be that that's in my brain right now. He says, another time it sounds like somebody saying, is this your truck? Could be something altogether different. Anyhow, he says, while Nashville downtown is very busy, that particular section over on Gay Street is usually somewhat desolate and secluded. There's some free on-the-street parking there,
Gay Street.
which you can clearly see is not all that safe, as evidenced by the truck window that's been smashed in that the policeman is looking at. Aside from the people that walk into their cars and maybe some homeless people, there's not usually a ton of activity. Let me know what you think. I don't know. There's just not enough there. It's just like this little tiny blip. And I think that whenever we hear that somebody young has gone missing and it's mysterious and we don't know where they went or what happened to them and they had their whole life in front of them, we often think of the most complex answers to the question of what happened. And Occam's razor is a thing for a reason. If you don't know what Occam's razor is, it's essentially the idea that...
Well, Occam hadn't shaved in a few days.
It's essentially the idea that the simplest possible answer is the correct answer. And the most obvious possible answer is the correct answer, which is often true. And in this case, the most obvious answer is that, unfortunately, this drunk 22-year-old who was by himself and was wandering the wrong way from the hotel may have gone under the embankment by the river and may have fallen in. And he's not the only one, because shortly after he went missing, they found a dead body in the river, and it wasn't even his. And so, this whole thing is going to spawn conspiracies everywhere, but I don't know that I buy into that just yet. Okay, we'll hear from you and see what you have going on with your dispatches in just a moment. But this is a trick I'd never heard of before. Catch me if you can. You used to have to be clever to try to sneak onto a plane. Now, a guy got through TSA and got himself onto a flight. And here's how he did it. I'm not saying other people should copy this, by the way. I'm just saying here's how he did it, so you know it's a worry.
Write it down.
A Texas man was arrested in Salt Lake City on Sunday after he was discovered roaming around on a Delta Airlines flight without a designated seat to call his own. How did he get on the plane in the first place? The man allegedly photographed a fellow passenger's boarding pass without their knowledge and successfully used it to board the flight.
All right.
So, say Sea-Line's got his phone out, he's got his boarding pass on his phone. If you take a picture of it, that picture will still work to give you access through TSA or to the flight itself.
I mean, it's basically a QR code these days, right?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. They say Wycliffe Florizard. Florizard sounds like a Pokemon, but that's his last name. 26-year-old from Texas told police he was in Utah on a snowboarding trip but needed to get back to Texas to see family there. They said using his Florida ID and a boarding pass, he got on board. And they said they're not sure which one to use. He stole from multiple people's phones photographs of their boarding passes while they were not looking. So everybody's just like swinging around their phone with a boarding pass on it. This guy's taking photos of them and using them to get past airport security, which, let's put that on the radar as something we should be worried about.
Yeah, but the problem here is he's used it to get through TSA, which is good and fine, although I think even TSA has red flags based on has this person already gone through TSA?
Yes.
If you go through TSA twice, I think they would have a question. I got stopped at TSA for having 2 boarding passes assigned to my name that day.
Really?
Yeah, because my wife had had bought different plane tickets. She had rescheduled our trip back so that we could leave earlier. And I don't know if she just never canceled the other one or it was still somehow active in their system. So when they checked me for a second, they're like, "Hey, what's going on here?" And I said, "Yeah, we switched planes, or we switched to an earlier flight."
Oh, and what are these? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So you get through TSA. That's your goal here, and then you need to get on a plane.
Yeah, and I think he did that with 2 different passes. So one was used that they took a picture of, was used to get through TSA. The second one was used to get onto the plane.
So a red flag would arise for the person who then tries to go through TSA, who's the right person, and then that's going to be an issue. But then once you get on the plane with this not so fake, but the stolen pass, unless the person that was supposed to use that pass and doesn't show, there's going to be an issue where the person shows up and they're like, "Says you're already on the plane," and goes, "No, I'm not. My name is on the manifest, and here's my ID."
And everything you're saying is exactly what happened. Because the second boarding pass this guy took a photo of and used to get on the plane was one from a little girl. And the little girl goes up to the gate to get onto the flight, and they go, "I'm sorry, this has already been scanned." And she goes, "No, I didn't scan mine." And they go, "They're trying to sort this out." And then that's when they went on the plane and saw the guy who didn't seem to have a seat that he could go to. And so that's exactly how all that played out. But beware when you've got your boarding pass on your phone like that. We'll get to your dispatches in just a moment. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch right now. When we return, what's going on with this solar eclipse that's on the way? There are emergency warnings everywhere. What is going to happen? Is all hell about to break loose? We'll find out together and dive into that rabbit hole. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is
The Monsters in the Morning.
I need you to edit that video and edit my belly out.
So here's the thing with TikTok. Once it's up, it's up.
Yeah, that's not how it works in real life.
Editing.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Travel with caution and expect a bit of delays. Authorities are clearing up an accident on John Young Parkway southbound at Central Florida Parkway through the city on I-4 this afternoon. You can expect a bit of delays between Michigan Street and approaching State Road 408. There's slowdowns southbound on Florida's Turnpike between Osceola Parkway and approaching US 192. If you see any traffic troubles, please call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Direct Auto. Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. With savings of up to 25%, you can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com. Savings based on discounts can vary. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Hey, let's get out of here. With Audible, we could root for a lone astronaut as he tries to save Earth from disaster. Maybe go for a run with the founder of the world's biggest sneaker brand. We could get the tea on the real-life media mogul succession drama. Or find out what life is really like for an Oscar-winning actress. I mean, with Audible, we could go anywhere. There's more to imagine when we listen. Hear the latest audiobooks, podcasts, and originals at audible.com.
Are allergies holding you back? Take control with Aspire Allergy and Sinus, your one-stop solution for a breath of fresh air. Our expert team offers comprehensive allergy testing and cutting-edge treatments so you can enjoy life without the hassles of sneezing and sniffles. Say goodbye to allergy and sinus struggles and hello to a healthier, happier you. Go to AspireAllergy.com today to ditch those temporary fixes and schedule your appointment. That's AspireAllergy.com.
Tax time means a much-needed cash bonus for many people. But for business owners, it can mean the opposite. Hey, this is R.C. Hill from R.C. Hill, Mitsubishi in DeLand. My accountant said I need to reduce my tax burden now. So I'm going to overpay for your old car because I'd rather give you the money than the government. Get up to $4,297 more for your old car than it's actually worth. No matter where you bought the car, no matter how many miles are on it. It's simple. Trade in your old car you hate driving and get a new car today, like a Mitsubishi Mirage 43 miles per gallon lifetime warranty. That means most people can trade and lower their payment. Or let me double your tax refund up to $2,500. RC Hill Mitsubishi specializes in approving customers with below average credit scores. My goal this month is 100% credit approval. This month, my prices will not be beat. This sale ends when my accountant says enough is enough. I'm RC Hill at RC Hill Mitsubishi, Central Florida's first choice for new Mitsubishis. 2 locations, DeLand and now in Ocala. Or visit me at rchill.com. That's rchill.com.
Credit requires bank approval. See rchill.com for details.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Just dial pound law. That's all. Morgan & Morgan, America, and now the universe's largest injury law firm.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Sneezing, coughing, stuffy nose, runny nose, post-nasal drip, interrupted sleeping. I was groggy at the end of the day.
Allergies and sinus congestion were making Jana miserable. Then, a friend recommended Navage. Navage provides immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Navage helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
Navage gave me instant relief. I didn't have to wait 30 minutes. I didn't have to wait an hour, 90 minutes. I didn't have to wait a minute. I ran the rinse and I felt better.
Stop suffering from congestion and start breathing and feeling your best again with Navage. Navage.
I've had people ask me how I find relief, and I tell them Navage immediately. This thing is amazing.
Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid.
Embrace the energy, enjoy the fun, and indulge in the food at Agave Azul Cocina Mexicana. Agave Azul embraces traditional and modern elements in a varied menu with your favorite Mexican dishes plus innovative twists, all served in an upbeat and welcoming atmosphere. Visit one of Agave Azul's 4 locations in Kirkland, Winter Park, Winter Springs, and Windermere. And find us online at agaveazulcocinamex.com. Agave Azul Cocina Mexicana. Agave AZUL Cocina MEX.com.
Hey, what's good, guys? This is Angel from the Monsters. You guys know I love to cook on my Big Green Egg. Why? It's impressive, and everything turns out great on the Big Green Egg. If you don't have one, you got to go to Wassy's Meat Market and get a Big Green Egg. They have the lowest prices in the country. They also have all the accessories, everything that you need. They have the classroom set up so you can teach you the basic techniques on the Big Green Egg and advanced techniques on the Big Green Egg as well. When you get the Big Green Egg from Wassy's Meat Market, there's a lifetime guarantee, so check them out. It's Wassy's Meat Market. Check them on Instagram or go to their website, wassysmeatmarket.com in Melbourne on Wickham Road. It's Wassy's Meat Market.
Are you over 30 and putting off life insurance? It's time to get a quick quote from Ethos, a better, easier way to get term life insurance, all online with no medical exam. Answer a few health questions and you could be approved for up to $2 million. Isn't it worth 10 minutes to help protect your family's financial security? Ethos, up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 original stations waiting for you to explore right now, like 24/7 comedy.
Men don't settle down. We surrender. Women, we never express the emotions we're actually feeling, right? I'm fine means I'm about to stab you in the neck.
Clips from today's top comedians and the greatest of all time.
Donut hole. If you want a donut, have a donut. Why are you eating the hole?
When you need a laugh, just open the free iHeartRadio app and search comedy.
You can actually change the station.
iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
Need more animals, more gators, and more fun? Y'all need Gatorland.
Story time with the 3 best friends you never knew you had.
The show. That's how you get on alongside us with your thoughts. You just go to the website, thenewsjunkie.com, and record your thoughts. Before we get to those, gentlemen, a question for you here. And we'll start with you, C-Lane. Just requiring a little bit of honesty out of here. Do you share your location with your wife? your phone's location. All right, you don't share your location on your phone with your wife.
No,
Josh,
at one point I did. Like she had turned it on, and then I turned it off, and she was like, "Why'd you do that?" And I was like,
"Thank God, I'm going to need your help." Okay.
Oh boy.
All right, dude. I'm going to need your assistance then. All right. Okay. Josh, what about you? Do you share your location with your wife?
Yeah, when I'm not cheating on her, sure.
Yeah. So
what I don't share my location with is my girlfriend.
Am I right?
Hey now.
So you guys both have done this at least to some certain extent, it sounds like.
Yes.
Unless you're totally screwing with me. Now, Courtney was just about to go for her run, and my lovely girlfriend was outside of the studio, and I go, "Oh, you going out for your run?" And she says, "Yeah." And I go, "Oh, make sure you share your location with me, so just in case you get, adult napped." And I'm joking. And she runs out the door, and she shares her location with me. Right? Now, the thing that happens is, once you share your location with somebody, then it asks that person, do you want to share your location with them?
Right.
And so I said, well, I can't say no. That seems super weird. Like, it seems like a controlling weirdo partner to be like, you're sharing it with me and I'm not sharing with you. I don't really want it to begin with, but she wants me to have it so that in case she gets grabbed and smuggled away on her run, I'll be able to track her and know where she is. And then she comes in and she goes, I don't want your location. And I said, well, what was I supposed to do? Take your location and not give my location? How did you get out of this? How did you unwind this mess, this nest I'm stuck in here?
I think it's, she shared it in a text message probably, right?
Yeah.
I think you go back to where that happened and turn yours off.
Okay, but now if I do that, now that I'm fine with it. I'm not up to anything. She knows I'm not up to anything. It's just the problem is once you get roped into that, it just all looks strange. It looks very, very weird. But she wants me to know, too.
To stop sharing your location, you could use the Find My app, select the People tab, find the person you want to stop sharing with, tap their name, and tap Stop Sharing My Location.
And honestly, with the Riley Strange story going on, I do think it's smart to, when you go out, to have people know where you are, have a friend, at least, somebody know where you are. I hear women all the time will say,
in case Courtney falls into one of those raging Orlando Rapids.
That's not the big concern. I'm not worried about that quite as much. But I know that, I know there's a lot of women who will go out on a first date and they'll give a friend their location for 24 hours.
Yes, my wife has been the recipient of that multiple times.
It's smart, right? It sounds kind of like a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Because you go, who the hell knows what's going to happen? You don't want this to be one of those stories that you just see the next day, and then you go, Jesus, what you should have done some sharing of location now. Abraham Dragonfriend says women have been doing this for years. Yeah, I think it's probably used more by women than men, honestly, or really overprotective creeper dudes who want to stalk you everywhere. I know I saw not too long ago there was this podcast, some YouTubers podcast. And these girls, they might have been faking it for clout and to get some attention. But they said that a fan of the podcast had showed up at one of the live events and given them a little stuffed animal. And they said, oh, look how cute this is. It's a little stuffed bear. And they're holding the bear in their hands. And they realize something seems a little wacky and wrong. And they open it up. And the fan had put an air tag in the little stuffed animal that they gave them. And you go, okay, there's a lot of tracking going on these days.
The AirTag one is crazy to me because that's the one that's supposed to have the most features to combat acts like that.
Right.
There are other GPS trackers that you can buy that you put a little SIM card in, and it does what you want it to do nefariously. But the Apple AirTag, even though it's the easiest to obtain as a consumer, that's the one that's got what Apple, the whole thing.
It'll tell you.
The whole thing was it's supposed to tell you hey, there's an AirTag nearby your phone.
I've seen that message. The message that I've gotten before is you're traveling with an AirTag, and it was in somebody's luggage. But it was you're traveling with an AirTag right now. Are you aware of this? And you go, yeah, I'm aware of this. And it just all of a sudden turns out to be freak you out, freak you out. So it turns out to be something that'll freak you out for a second or two. But there I am. Okay, let's talk about this.
Sharing my location for the same reason I use airplane mode on the plane.
Why is that?
I don't want to drain my battery.
The battery is so important to you. Don't you have like multiple giant backup battery things, C-Lane?
Yeah, but I don't carry them around all the time.
Well, what's the point of having them?
You know.
He doesn't need them because his phone battery's not drained.
I don't understand this guy. I don't understand him at all.
So, I don't carry them around all the time because I don't always have something to carry them in.
Yeah.
But if I'm out with my wife, she's usually got a purse, and I'd be like, let me throw that battery in there.
Okay.
All up in that purse.
Whatever works for you. I know. For a while there, all the bars and restaurants were starting to provide us with ways to plug our phones in. And then they just, I don't know if it was COVID or whatever it was, but they just hit the brakes on
got rid of those little lockers that had the phone chargers in them?
Yeah. They're like, oh, that was a thing for a hot second. And they go, hey, we don't want to do this anymore. We're not going to be doing this. Sorry. Let's talk about the total solar eclipse, the total eclipse of the heart that is on the way and is going to be happening.
The sun, so...
on April 8th, heart and sun shall eclipse on this date. And there's all these like emergency warnings that are going up. Let me tell you something. One of them is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of in my life. And they actually issued an emergency warning that solar-powered devices may suffer short-term blackouts during the solar eclipse.
No!
Who's the person who doesn't understand that? Show me the person who, like, if you don't have like a battery backup, I'm not talking about your Tesla Powerwall situation where you got the tiles on your roof that then pull in the charge and then it brings into the battery. And so if some clouds come over, you could just run off the battery. I'm talking about something that's just solely powered on a solar power panel. Of course it's not going to work. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of that you wouldn't know about that. That makes perfect sense that it would be problematic. But there's many other emergency warnings out there as well. They say during the 2024 eclipse, which again is coming up on April 8th. I don't know if you guys are going to be doing something for this. Josh, you should take part. No. You got to get on one of the flights. They have these solar eclipse flights, and you get on the plane and they chase the eclipse, and you fly around and then you just land. You go back to where you were. You don't even go to a destination.
Sounds super fun.
It is. It's a party.
Wait. They chase the eclipse. You just look at it at a bunch of different places? Or you get off the plane, though?
No. You fly, you look at the eclipse, and then you land back where you started from. It's just, as far as I know, look up eclipse flight, Celine, in case I'm getting this wrong.
What it sounds like, I would think, is similar to, and I think we had a story this year where somebody tried this and their flight got delayed and they were super pissed about it. People who want to celebrate the countdown into the new year more than once, they will celebrate a new year, then hop on a plane and fly somewhere across the international date line, and then land and then get somewhere in time for another New Year's. And there was somebody that was really pissed at their airline because they got super delayed and they missed. I think they missed both New Year's because they were waiting in the airport. It was a whole thing.
By the way, the person who does that is the same person that has convinced themselves they've gone back in time. They're like, "Oh, I've time traveled. I've gone." This is stupid. This whole thing's man-made. You're just pretending, okay?
Eclipse viewing at 30,000 feet. Delta to offer path of totality flight.
All right.
Sounds nerdy.
Well, you and Josh are already crapping all over it, but we don't even know what happens yet. Maybe something cool happens.
If you ever wanted to we were just experiencing this from the tiny little port window. If you ever want to experience a total solar eclipse from the sky
of the heart,
Delta has you covered this April. If this flight gets delayed, oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
The airline is offering a special flight from Austin to Detroit on April 8th, specifically for Umbraphiles. Do you know what an Umbraphile is?
That's my group. Those are my people, Umbraphiles. Yes, we like eclipses. We're very much into
people who love solar eclipses and often travel to see them. To spend as much time as possible directly within the path of totality. It will be specifically operated on an A220-300, which will offer especially premium viewing due to the aircraft's extra-large windows. It will depart at 12:15 Central Time and land in Detroit at 4:20 Eastern Time. Time to give those on board the best chance of safely viewing the solar eclipse at its peak. So I guess it's just going to go along the line. You got to get special permission to do that, though, I think. But it's going to go along the line of the best to follow the eclipse.
This is plane guy coming through. I'd like to follow the sun, if you don't mind.
You're clear for takeoff.
You know, our friend Austin once went on a little trip for an eclipse, I believe.
Oh, he's an Umbraphile.
Yeah, I think Austin.
Not surprised at all.
What are you saying? What the hell, man? That's probably cool. He went somewhere we
Didn't he go
properly
to China
see
to buy LEDs once?
He didn't go there just to buy LEDs. He also brought us back some liquor for secret shows.
Yeah.
Some really questionable Chinese in a black bottle liquor that he got. I think people are into this. I think they have fun with the eclipses, but it could be bad. Because they say during the 2024 eclipse, the sun will be in or near solar maximum when the magnetic field is more like a tangled hairball. Streamers will likely be visible throughout the corona. In addition to that, viewers will have a better chance to see...
Will we be one of the streamers that's visible through the corona?
I don't know about us. They'll shut us down first. Which appear as bright pink curls or loops coming off of the sun is visible from Mexico to Canada. And that's the path of totality. So how much was a flight where you go on there and then you like fly in the path of this total eclipse that's headed our
I'm
way?
sure it's already sold out. It doesn't have a price on it.
Main cabin prices start at $749 one way. First class will cost you $1,150.
And you don't even go anywhere?
And I don't think they accept your Delta Sky Miles.
On a technicality, you go somewhere, but I'm saying you take off and you land at the same place.
They drop you off in Detroit and say good luck.
Yeah, it's from Austin to Detroit.
Oh, and you got to get a flight.
Yeah, you got to pay to fly back.
It's so stupid. I paid $700 to fly. You could just happen to fly at the same time, right? Like, I could just find a one-way flight.
There are like 5 other listed flights on this article that say, like, even if you're not on the special flight, they'll have prime eclipse viewing opportunities on 5 additional routes.
Wow.
So don't forget your protective sunglasses.
Okay. It's big for some people. So what are the files called?
Umbra
files. So the Umbra files, enjoy. Hope everything goes well. Hope it's not like a Y2K scenario here, because God knows how bad that was. We do want to hear from you, though. Let's get to your dispatches.
Ooh, they added a second flight, actually.
There must be a bunch of people then, right?
A lot of Umbra files out there.
Sold out the first flight in under 24 hours.
See? Look, people like this stuff. That's why I brought it up here on the show today. I knew people were super into it. Squirrely's talking about how I'm sick right now.
Hey, everybody, happy today.
Hey!
And Sean, I might have some bad news for you.
Oh, don't tell me.
I know I shook your hand and gave you a hug at Just Okay 8.
You son of a bitch.
So you might be dealing with salmonella, buddy.
What? Salmonella? This guy's got lizards and stuff.
He's the reptile guy.
Yeah, he's the reptile guy. I hope it's not that. I don't know. My tea's going to keep me in good shape.
Enjoying your little tea over there?
Yes, that's going to get me to the end of the show,
tea.
Josh. And then tomorrow, I don't know what's happening. I don't know.
More
maybe
tea.
Maybe I can make it through. Maybe C-Lane hosts the show. Who knows? It's big question marks. We'll see. What was that look?
Of course I'll host the show.
What do you think? Should C-Lane do it? Let us know. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch right now. When we return, a mystery person amongst us, will be doing the next episode. Who is it? You're going to find out. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by Gringos Locos and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James, Miguel, Ken, and Mike. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Cool Today Weather Center, cooltoday.com.
Hey there, Central Florida. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast on this Thursday. And we are expecting mostly sunny skies over the course of today, although clouds will gradually begin to increase throughout this afternoon and into this evening. That will be out ahead of our next rainmaker set to arrive for our Friday. Before that, though, temperatures will be warming well into the upper 70s and low 80s. The forecast high of 81 degrees today in Orlando. Shower and storm chances will be on the increase for Friday into Saturday. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Jackson Hewitt. It matters who does your taxes.
Why are people saying "Hew yeah" to Jackson Hewitt? When you switch to Jackson Hewitt, they will beat what you paid last year on tax prep, even if you filed online. Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations through April 7th. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
Look, if you have an air conditioning, the question is when, not if, it's going to have an issue. At some point, you're going to have a problem, and you need somebody that you can trust to help you get back up and running. And it could be a feeling of helplessness, like everything's stacked against you. But it's not. Why? You've got Mills Air. This is the company that does things the right way. They hire the best people, by the way. The techs over at Mills Air, they're all very, very skilled, very nice. They're very professional. And when they come over to your place, here's what they're going to do. They're going to look at your AC, no matter what you have. If you've got multiple AC units, if you've got a mini split, if you've got a window unit, doesn't matter what brand it is, they're going to look at it up and down. And they're going to tell you what kind of condition your AC is in, and is it going to make it through the summer. They can answer those questions, and preventative maintenance saves you money, can detect an upcoming breakdown, and it's easy to do. Get set up by Mills Air right now. 407-277-1159. Do you like a company with great customer service? I do, and that's why I always tell you about Mills Air. They are a Carrier authorized dealer, and they can get you huge rebates toward a brand new Carrier unit. You could always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always turn to Mills Air. Again, it's 407-277-1159, or find them online at millsair.com.
A Fifth Third Better means we put in 166.7%.
What does that mean?
Well, at Fifth Third Bank, our name equals 166.7%. So that's how hard we work. That means free checking, no hidden fees, and helping to protect your identity.
Explain it in baseball terms?
It's a home run.
Basketball terms?
It's a slam dunk.
Football.
Touchdown.
Highlight?
Buzzball.
Cricket.
Golden duck.
Wow, guess that really is a Fifth Third Better.
That's what a Fifth Third Better means. This is banking a Fifth Third Better. Fifth Third Bank, National Association member FDIC.
Did you know that your largest investment asset might not be your retirement account or home? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. Most people don't realize that their life insurance policy is actually an asset they can sell. But for almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. We've even created a free policy value calculator at abacuspays.com so you can find out in seconds what we might pay for your policy. There are no fees and no obligations, just information. Knowing the value of your life insurance policy is as important as knowing the value of your home, your equity portfolio, or your finances in total. Discover the valuable information you need to understand the current market value for your life insurance, and then get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Visit abacuspays.com to learn more and use our free policy value calculator today.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
HOA and condo board members, it pays to have fiber. Let Blue Stream Fiber show you how fiber internet provides revenue for communities while saving up to 50% off retail rates. Visit bluestreamfiber.com/radio to find out more.
This is Michael David from Seattle. I'm 51 years old, and 6 months ago, I started taking Andro 400 to increase my testosterone. Since then, I've lost 35 pounds of fat, and my waist went from size 38 to size 32. I have more energy, and I look and feel 20 years younger. And now my wife tells me I have to take Andro 400.
Hi, this is Ron Johnson from Utah. After 10 weeks of taking Andro 400, I lost 13 pounds and my waist went from 36 to 33. That was 8 years ago. I continue to take Andro 400 and I've maintained my weight at 172. Gained muscle and energy. I'm 63 now and feel better than I have in 30 years.
Andro 400, the natural way to increase testosterone, lose belly fat, gain energy, and feel great. Try Andro 400, the safe, effective, affordable way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Riding the daily roller coaster of viral news from the front row.
Things happening in the world of entertainment and beyond. Gentlemen, a question for you. And by the way, Sabrina should be back tomorrow. She's dealing with some personal stuff, and that's her business and not yours. But she should be back tomorrow on the show, possibly. It seems like that's going to be the case, so we'll see. Will I be back tomorrow is another thing now, because
possibly.
Just chaos.
It seems like that's going to be the case. We'll see.
And Monday, what's going to go on Monday? Because the problems continue. But that's how we do over here, okay? So I want to ask you a question before we get into the next episode. In 5 years, all right, I'll bring us into the future with a little bit of magic here, as we tend to do. In 5 years, as we go 5 years into the future, we use magic instead of the time machine this time. I can go both ways.
Oh, cool.
By getting you to the future. And right now, it's 5 years from now. Do you think Best Buy still exists?
I'm surprised it still exists right now.
You think it still exists as a thing in 5 years? 2029, March, does Best Buy still exist? Because I saw a story today that says they're about to close 10 to 15 stores this year, and they closed 24 stores of their more than 1,000 stores last year. So they're kind of on that path to closing down stores. I can't see a future where Best Buy, if it doesn't make drastic changes, is open in 5 years. I think it's exactly like it was when I was working at Circuit City. And I was looking around Circuit City in my Circuit City uniform and going, this place ain't going to be here long. That's how Best Buy feels to me, which is crazy because I know both of you can remember, just like I can, when I was younger, Best Buy was the spot. Best Buy was... It was busy as hell always.
Best Buy was, for me, the incentive to get good grades. If I got all A's and B's on my report card, I got a trip to Best Buy. And if I got all A's, 2 trips to Best Buy.
Oh, yeah.
Or BrandsMart. We had a BrandsMart by our Best Buy, which was like even like a cheaper level thing.
Don't know what that is.
Steve-O is saying, I think Best Buy will be a distant memory in 5 years. Somebody says, no, absolutely not. They'll still be around, says Jordan.
I think they could still be around if they pivot.
But they haven't pivoted yet, really.
Yeah, they're kind of blockbustering right now. They need to be half the size that they are.
Mm-hmm.
They need to lower their footprint and just have like smaller, like cell phone, almost the size of a cell phone store kind of deals where they have the stuff that you really want now, and if you want bigger stuff, they got it for you, but they'll deliver it to you.
Yes, that is exactly where I thought it should go to. I'm like, people still want something they can't get. Amazon is amazing. They can get you so many things overnight or in 2 days or in 3 days. They can get you a lot of things the very same day. I've bought things in the morning, a couple hours later, they're there at my doorstep. You know what they can't get me? Right now, this second.
Imagine the floor plan of a Best Buy, and then imagine what it was like in the 90s, maybe even the early 2000s, and how much of it was dedicated to the sales of music, like CDs and software.
Yeah, and DVDs.
Two things, DVDs also, so movies and DVDs. Those three things are not something you need to get at a store anymore.
Right.
So
and that's like, it's like no man's land walking around that part of the store, and then it feels all dim and like there's not enough employees there. I don't think this place lasts 5 years, because I don't think they're going to adjust. You watch places die and you go, you had it coming. You knew you needed to adjust, and yet you didn't. And you, Best Buy, become Blockbuster, like Celine said.
They're going to turn into the electronics version of that Dillard's that's always on hospice.
It's just so depressing.
Been going out of business for like a decade now.
All right, I don't know who's doing this or what's happening, but here we go. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, and you can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
Man, you look like you have an enormous dong.
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode.
With me, and thank you, Sean.
You're welcome.
Next episode brought to you by That Mortgage Guy Don, thatmortgageguydon.com. You want to get out of your current renting situation? You want to stop throwing away money? You want to stop having a landlord? You want That Mortgage Guy Don to get you a nice, excellent rate on your mortgage, and he's great at it. He will walk you through the process. You can ask him questions if you want by listening to Home Loans Radio, or just hit him up. Click the compare quote calculator right there on his website, thatmortgageguydon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguydon.com.
And we start on this day, today in 1980, one of, at the time and for a long time, maybe still goes down as one of the most popular whodunit story arcs in primetime television.
Oh, Who Shot JR?
Who Shot JR on this day in 1980 on the TV show Dallas?
Until you just said Dallas, I knew it was Who Shot JR, and I didn't even know what the TV show was.
I think more people know the phrase "Who Shot JR," and it even created like a spun-off parodies. Like there was a
the South Park one,
"Who Shot Mr. Burns," which I think was Mackie.
The South Park one was like, "Who is Cartman's real dad?" I think.
Oh, do you think that was where they got that from? That was a great plot line. But do you know who shot JR?
No. Who was it?
It was Kristen Shepard, played by Mary Crosby, a.k.a. JR's scheming sister-in-law and mistress, shot him in a fit of anger. He was banging his sister-in-law. I didn't know Dallas was that scandalous. But
they are.
Here we are, and obviously one of the top stories we've talked about this week because of the release of Quiet on Set has been this whole thing with Dan Schneider and then Drake Bell, and his admission, his coming out and saying that he was sexually assaulted by this guy, Brian Peck. Mm-hmm. And right now, a bunch of the old school Nickelodeon fans are coming hard for Josh Peck. No relation to Brian Peck, by the way. But obviously the co-star in Drake and Josh, and I guess he posted a video on social media or something, and it was completely unrelated to the thing. Mm-hmm. And then everybody's jumping in his comments like, "Your silence means everything, Josh. How dare you not talk about Drake getting sexually assaulted?"
Yeah.
Which is kind of a weird thing. I mean, maybe he was waiting to talk to Drake about that, which he did. But Nickelodeon TV series producing Wiz, Dan Schneider are two Hollywood entities to speak out after Drake Bell's recent allegations. But one person's fans have noticed he hasn't spoke out of the harsh conditions in kids' TV. Followers dove into Josh Peck's comment section after he posted an odd video, but has said nothing to defend or back up Bell. Well, Bell has actually come out with a statement on, I believe, TikTok saying, "Lay off."
I've got to hear if you want to play this.
If you have it, we can watch it. Yeah.
Here it is right here.
Hey, what's up, guys? I just want to clear something up. I've noticed a lot of
nice coat
comments
very well
on some of Josh's TikToks and some of his posts, and I just want to let you guys know that this is really, processing this and going through this is a really emotional time, and
obviously,
a lot of it's very, very difficult. So not everything is put out to the public, but I just want you guys to know that he has reached out to me.
Okay.
And it's been very sensitive, but he has reached out to talk with me and help me work through this, and has been really, really great. So
he says be easy on him.
I just wanted to let you guys know that and to take it a little easy on him.
I guess a lot of it also stems from the fact that, as it turns out, and this is a big, big surprise to everybody, that despite working together so closely, Drake and Josh ended up not being the best of friends, and Drake Drake had made some comment about not being invited to Josh's wedding years back, and then they kind of squashed that beef seemingly when they had a big hug at the VMAs, but
our version of that is Chris and Josh, and it's difficult behind the scenes.
Man, the tensions in this building.
That's why they have to put us in two different rooms.
Yeah.
See, look.
Screw you, man. Oh, there he is.
So that, they say lay off Josh, right? Because it's Josh.
Yeah, lay off Josh.
Is it just me, guys, or does Drake give you Corey Feldman vibes?
I do get that, and I am struggling with this.
Which is weird because he also was in that child actor, drama thing.
Yeah, and I'm struggling with this, and I know this is for some of you sacrilege. I really don't care. I'm kind of hesitating from putting my foot down on the pedal because I haven't seen the docuseries yet, which is why I was curious about it and asking some questions and stuff. But I see in this a guy in Drake Bell who his career was ruined. It was done for. And now I'm watching the gears turn in his head as he's able to save it from ruin because of this terrible thing that happened to him. And it's sort of like, imagine you heard oh my God, did you hear Harvey Weinstein was abused when he was a child, And they're not direct comparisons to one another, but just give you an example that somebody who did something wrong and bad, then they have a thing where they're a victim and they re-center themselves in
Kinda
how people
when
view
Kevin
them.
Spacey came out thinking that would ease off of the allegations against him, even though it really didn't.
That didn't work for him.
That didn't work as much.
No. It's weird because I want to go hey, there's still some weird stuff that this guy did, but oh God, it's terrible what happened to this. It's kind of uncomfortable.
David Schwimmer is joining this show.
Friends.
Nope.
X-Files.
Goosebumps is right. You see it on my screen, don't you?
Don't worry about that.
You see it right on my screen.
Don't worry about how I figured it out.
Guys, they're fighting again.
The Friend Star will... You're not coming to my second... Never mind. The Friend Star will star in the season 2 of the Disney Plus anthology. Variety reports he'll play a former botany professor whose life takes a hectic turn as he juggles the responsibilities of caring for an aging parent with having his teenage twins full-time for the summer. Should be crazy. I don't know if Goosebumps is still as fun as when I used to watch it back as a kid.
Oh, it's good. It's good, yeah. The Jack Black ones are real fun.
Ben Folds finally is up to 5. The lead singer of the exaggerated titled band, Ben Folds 5. It was a trio the whole time, in case you didn't know. But he's finally up to 5 in divorces. Ben Folds and Emma Sandel have finalized their divorce. Court documents show it was finalized late February. He's ordered to pay $475,000 for any interest she has in their Nashville home.
No, it was probably all the bricks, all those bricks over time.
Yeah.
We'll do that for him.
John Hinckley Jr., he says he's a victim of cancel culture. Yeah, that's a thing. After his latest folk singing gig got canceled.
You try to kill one president, and then
everyone gets upset.
Hinckley's whining that his latest gig at Hotel Huxley in Naugatuck, Connecticut was yanked. He was supposed to perform on March 30th until the venue announced last week it was pulling the plug. He told the New York Post, I think it's fair to say I'm a victim of cancel culture. On the Boob Tube tonight, prime time, baby. The NCAA men's basketball tournament, a.k.a. March Madness.
Yeah.
Regina King and William Shatner on Kimmel, Giselle Bundchen, and Wayne Brady will be on Fallon. And that's it. That's your next episode. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Wow. Incredible.
That sounds eerily like the audience sounded yesterday, I have to say.
Because I copied and pasted it. Same audience.
Similar audience.
Just sounded so similar. All right, what do you think about that? What do you think about the Best Buy thing we were talking about? We have so many more things to discuss before we wrap up today. But I've got a question that I want to ask everybody. And it's kind of a difficult one, but I think you might be interested in the conversation it spurs. This is about an animal. It's some weird stuff. Not that weird stuff, but it is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Orlando City returns to Inter-Inco Stadium to host Austin FC this Saturday. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center, shop the best quality jewelry and lowest price. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Travel with caution on Ponciana Boulevard. Authorities are clearing up an accident southbound between Osceola Parkway and Bronson Memorial Highway. There's delays due to an accident on John Young Parkway southbound at Central Florida Parkway. On I-4 through the city, there's a bit of congestion between Michigan Street and approaching State Road 408. If you see any traffic troubles, please call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan Injury Law Firm.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. We'll always be here for you. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Tax time means a much-needed cash bonus for many people. But for business owners, it can mean the opposite. Hey, this is R.C. Hill from R.C. Hill, Mitsubishi in DeLand. My accountant said I need to reduce my tax burden now, so I'm going to overpay for your old car because I'd rather give you the money than the government. Get up to $4,297 more for your old car than it's actually worth. No matter where you bought the car, no matter how many miles on it. It's simple. Trade in your old car you hate driving and get a new car today like a Mitsubishi Mirage 43 miles per gallon lifetime warranty. That means most people can trade and lower their payment. Or let me double your tax refund up to $2,500. RC Hill Mitsubishi specializes in approving customers with below average credit scores. My goal this month is 100% credit approval. This month, my prices will not be beat. This sale ends when my accountant says enough is enough. I'm RC Hill at RC Hill Mitsubishi, Central Florida's first choice for new Mitsubishis. 2 locations, DeLand and now in Ocala. Or visit me at rchill.com. That's rchill.com.
Credit requires bank approval. See rchill.com for details.
With new doors by Renewal by Andersen, you can cut back on energy usage, boost your home's curb appeal, and increase your comfort. Renewal by Andersen makes that transition easy for you thanks to a selection of beautiful, functional replacement doors that are as beautiful as they are convenient. I love pretty French patio doors, but in so many cases they seem flimsy and over time can warp, not to mention the security concerns that can come with them. Renewal by Andersen is better because every patio door is built with their exclusive Fibrex material, which is 2 times stronger than vinyl and features a 5-point locking system, which improves energy efficiency and, better yet, an increased level of security. Renewal by Andersen has a great offer to help you get started during the month of March. Buy 1 window and or patio door and get 40% off. Plus, no money down, no payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Visit RBAFLA.com. Some restrictions apply. Official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613.
Hard Rock Bet presents Legal in Florida.
You can bet the game on Hard Rock Bet. No more betting inside your head. Now Hard Rock Bet is legal in Florida. Now Hard Rock Bet is legal in Florida. Legal in Florida. It's safe, it's legal. We'll repeat that it is legal. Top rated sportsbook and it's the only one that's legal.
Get a no-regret first bet up to $100 when you sign up now. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 and over and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
The Kalos Services Job Fair will be on Saturday, March 23rd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Visit us to learn about opportunities in the construction services industry. Register at kalosflorida.com/jobs or text 352-243-7099.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
I owe the IRS $37,000.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies. They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803. Don't wait. Call now. 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803.
Spring is in the air, but so are airborne allergens like tree pollen, grass, mold, and ragweed. If spring allergies keep you trapped inside, then you need Navage Nasal Care to keep you breathing clearly and enjoying all the beauties of spring. Navage helps clear nasal passages that are often clogged because of seasonal allergies. Navage gently flushes a pure, refreshing saline solution through your nasal passages to clear out congestion, sucking out that springtime pollen and other irritants trapped in your nose. Navage springs into action quickly, helping you breathe more clearly in just 30 seconds. And you don't need a never-ending cycle of decongestants that can leave you feeling drowsy. Navage is the fast and easy drug-free allergy solution that helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Get Navage today so you can get outdoors and enjoy your favorite springtime activities. Navage is available online at Navage.com or in stores at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Target. Navage, Navage. Breathe easy.
Are you over 30 and putting off life insurance? It's time to get a quick quote from Ethos, a better, easier way to get term life insurance, all online with no medical exam. Answer a few health questions and you could be approved for up to $2 million. Isn't it worth 10 minutes to help protect your family's financial security? Ethos, up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Hey, let's get out of here. With Audible, we could root for a lone astronaut as he tries to save Earth from disaster. Maybe go for a run with the founder of the world's biggest sneaker brand. We could get the tea on the real-life media mogul succession drama. Or find out what life is really like for an Oscar-winning actress. I mean, with Audible, we could go anywhere. There's more to imagine when we listen. Hear the latest audiobooks, podcasts, and originals at audible.com.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Now back to the most viral newsroom on planet Earth. This
Tiny answer.
Well, no, I think a
Hold me
tough
closer.
one. A tough question to answer. And this is something I saw. Now, if you follow viral news and stuff, you've probably heard of an account. They're big on Instagram. It's called Only in Dade, as in Dade County,
That's a
Florida.
fun one. Yeah.
A lot of like people shaking their asses, cars spinning around at intersections, and various other chaos just on the streets of Miami, usually. And I saw a video that was posted recently that people freaked out about. And as often happens, I see everybody reacting in one way, and I think about it a little bit differently. And in this case, so you had this woman who apparently shows up to a place where you can drop off your dog to bring it to the shelter. And everybody knows they have these places. It's great that they have these places, mind you, so that people don't just leave the dog at a field somewhere to die or whatever. And so this woman shows up to this place. These people saw her as she approached, and they started filming her. And she brings the dog over and ties it up to this thing where you're supposed to drop off dogs at the shelter. And the people who watched her do it start screaming at her. How could you do this? How could you do this to this dog? It's just a poor dog. How could you just tie it up and leave it there? And the woman said, I'm sick. I'm really sick, and I'm too sick to care for the dog anymore.
Yeah.
And
that's a much better answer than, I'm moving into a place that doesn't allow dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I watched it, like everybody in the comments was like, this bitch, how terrible. How could somebody do this? How could she tie up that dog? And I said, let's take her at her word here. Let's suggest that she's telling the truth and she is sick. Maybe she's going to die soon. Isn't it kind of the right thing if you don't have any other resources? Because remember, not all people have a support structure around them. Not all people have a bunch of friends around them. Not all people have a significant other. There are people who are single and just living life on their own, essentially. And those people are really likely to want to have a dog as a companion because it gives some energy and life in your house. If they're in that position and all of a sudden they find out that they are very, very sick and that they're going to die and they're going to have to spend a lot of time in the hospital until then, isn't it kind of a fair and okay thing to do to drop the dog off at one of these places where it goes to the shelter afterwards?
Yes.
I don't like there's an idea here where we always just shame somebody who dares drop a dog off at the shelter. And in most cases, I'm in agreement with that. Like C-Lane said, there's far too many people that are like, oh, my new apartment building doesn't allow dogs. And this was unforeseen circumstances. A lot of times it's like, you should have known better. Or it's somebody who gets a dog and then 3 days in, they go, oh, this is a lot of work.
I didn't realize I had to feed this thing.
Yeah, all three of us have dogs. We know that dogs are work. It takes a bunch of work. Not that I do too much of the work with Lady.
Wow.
I've got some of it on my plate here. I look at this and think, you got to be smart about where you're using your outrage. If the woman said, ugh, I don't want this dog anymore. It's so much work. I want to go on vacation more. Then that woman you should yell at. You should be like,
how I feel about the baby.
The fire station's just a hop, skip, and a jump away.
Don't do that. And when you see people drop these dogs off,
they're building a new fire station near me, and it's on the way from our house to my in-laws' house. And as we pass by, we keep going, you could be first, Jack. You could be first.
Put him in the baby drawer.
If Jackson just scream crying one day, it's very tempting.
By the way, I mean, but we're joking about it, but bringing up the baby drop off is a perfectly good example of reasons why these things are good to have. Because now Ashley's been in this rut lately, not rut, but like she's been doing this thing where every awful story she hears about a young person, especially babies, but also this kid in Nashville, she's like, it makes me worry about Jack. I'm like, this kid's 22. He's wasted. you got a little while before you need to worry about that.
But for the first time, the people that you're hearing about, you think one day my kid will be that age.
Yes. Yeah. And but she, she was on the couch next to me yesterday. And she goes, oh my gosh, it's terrible. And I said, what? And there was some lady that was going on a trip or something. Left the baby in the crib with like a couple bottles, but it died because it was alone for 10 days.
Go figure.
Yeah. And it starved to death. And I was like, that person should probably have brought the baby to the fire station if you can't handle it.
Agreed. Yeah, I think there's reasons for these places to exist. And shaming everybody who drops a dog off at one of these facilities, one of these shelters, ignores the fact that there's a need for these shelters. And that even for the terrible people, we need these shelters. And that if you sit out there and you almost act like it's an abortion clinic, and you know how the protesters will stay like right in the parking lot by the abortion clinic and shout at the people who are going in there and just like be ridiculous. That kind of behavior with these shelters will make it more likely that there's a worse outcome for the dog, just like C-Lane's saying, a worse outcome for the baby if you don't have these options. It's not great. And you got to use your brain a little bit. Like, maybe she's lying, okay? Maybe she's a selfish bitch and she's wrong and she's lying and she just doesn't want to pick up after the dog and, oh, this dog's annoying and ruining my life, cramping my style. Maybe, but let's give the benefit of the doubt. if she is telling the truth, maybe she just got a cancer diagnosis or something. She's not married. She's not in a relationship. She doesn't have any next of kin or any family members around her, and she can't take care of the dog anymore. Well, you want her to just die in a house and let the dog just die alongside? You don't want that. I wouldn't think you would want that.
Also, if she was a horrible bitch, wouldn't you want the dog to be away from her anyway?
Very true.
And maybe go to someone that actually likes it?
Yeah, very true. People do that too. With a mother that will want to give up a baby, or a father that will want to give up a baby and go to the fire department, they'll go, oh, how could you ever do this? You want them to do that.
Yeah.
If they're the person who's considering that and thinking about this, you want them to have that option, and you want them to make the right decision to do that. I think that is, we have this tendency to just demonize people instead of thinking, what if this person is dying and they have nobody else and they're just looking out for this dog right now? It could be a real possibility. What do you think? Let us know. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Fire off a dispatch in our direction right now. Courtney is going to be excited about this.
What happened?
They're making a movie. She's going to be thrilled about this. Any idea what this movie might be about, fellas? What could it be about? That Courtney would be thrilled.
Like?
It's one of the things
hold on.
that she
Is it
really likes.
Dexter?
It's not Dexter, but she would love a Dexter film. Yeah, it's a little scary how much she likes Dexter, but she's into Dexter. She's into a lot of murder type shows, which doesn't seem to be too abnormal for younger ladies. She's into Making a Murderer, How to Get Away with Murder. There's a lot of murder things.
Why Women Kill.
Why Women Kill. This new one that I was talking about. And
how much money you get from murder.
How to Kill a Radio Host. There's various flags around here. But no, that's not the thing. It's not the thing. It's something that she really likes. And I don't know how much you guys know about this. But at the beginning of our relationship, she started to get into this again. And I lost her for several weeks. I lost her to this thing. She knows how to speak in this language, even. It's the nerdiest thing she does. She speaks in another language.
A real language?
Well, I know what this is.
What is it?
Is it the language is Simlish, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, my gosh.
They're making a Sims movie, and she's going to be thrilled about this. Margot Robbie, who was in the Barbie movie, obviously, and did a bunch of other stuff. She's a fantastic actress, is going to be making a Sims movie based on the popular video game franchise. They're shopping at the Hollywood studios right now by Margot Robbie and Lucky Chap Production Company. Kate Hernan, who helmed the first season of Loki on Disney Plus, is on board to direct the film and also co-writing the screenplay with Brioni Redman. I don't know who some of those people are, but I'm sure they're very talented. So this could be the next big thing that follows up the Barbie movie, the Sims movie. Are people going to be into it? Courtney downloaded that game, and I lost her. And she'd start talking to me in Sims language. I'd be like, you are a nerd.
With Genie.
With Genie. That's one of the many things that these stupid little Sims characters would say. And she would do messed up stuff, too. I don't know if I should tell you some of this.
Go on.
She'd create
burn down her
arrangements.
Sims house?
Yeah. You could lock the Sims characters into rooms and
you delete the door.
I don't know if she did that. She may have said somebody else did that. I shouldn't put that on her. Maybe she did that.
You put them in the pool and take the ladder away too.
Yeah, just drowning people, murdering people in cold blood in the Sims game. What do you think? Would you go see this, or is this not nearly as big a potential as the Barbie movie?
I'm glad that company had a hit that they did with The Sims, because I was a fan of SimCity, but I don't know that has the same appeal that The Sims does.
No, probably not. Not
I
in
love
terms of
SimCity.
Oh, those are fun. And I don't know if this is the same company, but Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Roller Coaster Tycoon was amazing.
There's other ones where you can just create your own city that are very much like SimCity. Those are fun. But as for what kind of legs they have, can they be a giant movie on their own? We'll see. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com and send us a dispatch right now. I want to see what you have to say, so let's work in one of those. Here's Funny Name talking about the dog that was dropped off by this lady that everybody was mad at.
Hey, Sean, I typically agree with you, but you're kind of wrong on this one. The story that I heard was that the shelter denied her that they were full, so she just tied the dog up on a post outside and hauled ass. the shelter themselves didn't have the ability to take in the animal. So
we might be able to bring this up. Look up Only in Dade Instagram. What I saw, because I saw it very quickly and just started, I played a little bit of it. I saw that it was a dog drop-off early, or a dog drop-off place for the shelter, okay? And then that's where the woman dropped it off, and then they started to get mad, and, like, they're filming her, obviously, putting the camera on her. And either way, if a person is dying and they can't take care of the dog and they leave it at the facility should still take the dog in. Take the dog in. You have networks of people who will be temporary fosters for reasons exactly like this. The woman needs an out. She needs an out if that's indeed true. If she's lying, she's a bad person, a very, very bad person. Tammy says shelters always deny space. Why? Why would they do that? Just they don't want to ever take anybody in? My local shelter has never taken a stray. What was the purpose of this shelter? Why do we have a shelter to begin with?
Oh, that guy's right. I'm watching the video, yeah.
What's it say?
A woman abandoned her dog in front of a rescue organization after claiming she's too sick to take care of it. But she tied the dog up to a pole.
All right, well, the shelter place needs to send somebody out there, get the dog off the pole, and take the dog in, right? Like, if they're refusing entrance to this animal and this woman feels like she has no other way around this, is the woman worse for doing it? Definitely. She's worse for doing it than if it was just randomly dropping off the dog. But the woman still, if she's telling the truth, is in a very bad bind. And you shouldn't care about anything other than the fate of the dogs, right? That's what I would think. Angel says, I follow our local shelter on Facebook. So many posts of dogs found. You hate to see that stuff, but all I care about in the end is the animals. I care about the animals that are involved in this and, you know, what happens to them. Let's see. Here's 2 tickets to Pound Town talking about eggs and AG.
Sean Wasson, 2024, out here advocating for people to get chickens to cut down on the issue with inflation. Kind of sounds like he wants us to join an agri-cult with McMurray, that piece of S.
What's this from? What am I missing?
What do you think it's from? Josh and I are laughing, and you have no idea what's going on.
Oh, damn it! It's Letterkenny.
Yeah,
Letterkenny. Still haven't seen an episode of that. And I'm always locked out of the inside jokes between Josh and C-Lane. And
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said figure it out.
Yeah. So I'm like, I know enough about it to know what the inside jokes are, but I don't know why they're funny, which is the worst part of it. It would be like if you never saw Ace Ventura and your friend was like, all righty then. Just like, it's the same
righty then.
Josh sent me a video last night. He might have sent it to both of us. Of a guy in Canada, and he was doing a lot of that Canada talk, and he had a pack of cigarettes, and he was calling them darts because that's what they do. So like, I'd have a dart. You have a dart? Let's have a dart.
I'd go for a dart.
I'd go for a dart. And he has a pack of cigarettes, and it's like, I guess in Canada, the warnings on the cigarettes are so bad now that they're putting them on individual cigarettes. So this guy opens a pack of cigarettes, and every single little stick, every single little cigarette has like, "You're gonna die. You're gonna die. I'm gonna kill you."
One of them says like, "There's poison in every puff." He's like, "Oh, got the rare poison dart here."
I love how they do that, and they think if we go just a little further, they're gonna stop smoking. If we just go, you know what we need to do? With every pack, you buy the pack of cigarettes, and now somebody who's hired by the federal government follows you around and just shames you each time you light one up and take a smoke.
You sure you want to do that, son?
You're going to die.
I think the next thing should be putting little chips, little microchips inside the cigarette pack, much like you would find inside of a birthday card that plays like, happy birthday, but instead, when you open the cigarette pack, you hear beep, beep, beep.
Oh God, they've gone so far that this is not truly out of the equation. I don't think.
Yeah, but they're dying the slowest death I think. I mean, you could ever see in any product.
You know what? The other thing that's crazy is, and there's so much of this anti-cigarette stuff you don't realize it. It's totally possible for you to live your whole life smoking and not die of lung cancer. It's not a just an inevitability that if you smoke, you are going to die of lung cancer. You're much more likely to die of lung cancer. In fact, if you're smoking a pack a day for the entirety of your life, there's a real good shot you're going to get it.
Yeah.
But
you're upping your odds.
Yeah, big time. I mean, look, there's a reason why I stopped smoking. Multiple reasons. But it turns out that stopping the smoking, now I'm still getting those same warnings, but it's like, hey, fat ass, put down the gummy bears. This is your third pack of gummy bears this evening. You're not supposed to eat anymore.
But could you imagine if every gummy bear that you took out of the bag was like, you're going to get fat, or you're going to get fatter, making you fatter?
It's basically doing that anyways. I'm not drinking and I'm not smoking, and so I'm snacking, and I'm just looking for something to do. I'm eating a box of Wheat Thins a night, people. I need help. Send help to me, please.
It's more like Wheat Thicks to me.
I'm not to a box yet, but things are getting bad, all right? It's tough around here. A quick break. We'll be back in just a moment. We got to talk about this first Neuralink patient that they're showing off in a video. Is this real? Is this actually something that's working? And is it good enough to warrant putting a chip in your brain? That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Heading through the city this afternoon, there's a bit of delays eastbound before Michigan Street and approaching State Road 408. There's also a couple accidents to watch out for this afternoon. John Young Parkway southbound at Central Florida Parkway. Ponciata Boulevard southbound between Osceola Parkway and Bronson Memorial Highway. There's an accident there causing a bit of delays. But if you see any traffic troubles, please call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by J. David Tax Law.
If you owe the IRS and can't pay, now is the time to call J. David Tax Law. After a 2-year hiatus, the IRS has resumed their aggressive collections letters. Don't wait. Call J. David Tax Law or visit jdavidtaxlaw.com.
If you're ready to refinance, buy your first dream home, do some debt consolidation, then you got to work with That Mortgage Guy Don. Go to thatmortgageguyDon.com to work with an expert and a friend that you can trust. Plain and simple. No spam, no hassle, just peace of mind.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Embark on a journey through the most absurd moments of the human story with Ridiculous History, the podcast that explores the bizarre corners of human existence, like the evolution of the toilet, the story of Comic Sans, or the exploits of the notorious Aaron Burr.
Aaron Burr is like, one day my life is going to be part of a musical.
However, though, he probably didn't necessarily at this point think that he was going to be the villain.
Listen to Ridiculous History on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire the largest injury firm in the world for your injury case? Lots of people hired us. We've collected over $15 billion and won a lot. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, homeowners, Russ Rollins here to talk to you about something serious. Your power bill. Last summer was tough, but this year could be even worse. So don't wait until the last minute to get protection and savings from solar power and backup power. Solar Source has a new pay-as-you-go solar package that lets you start with an affordable base system and add solar panels over time. Plus, their pay-as-you-go battery backup is awesome, and it lets you add critical backup power as you go. Schedule a free consultation at solarsource.com/monsters. Get ready for a stress-free summer.
Life is too short to let allergy and sinus issues hold you back. At Aspire Allergy and Sinus, we understand the impact these challenges can have on your life. Imagine a life free from constant sneezing, itchy eyes, and sinus headaches. Our expert team provides comprehensive allergy testing and personalized treatment plans, ensuring your specific needs are addressed. Simple relief, better life. At Aspire Allergy and Sinus, visit aspireallergy.com to schedule an appointment. Aspireallergy.com and tackle your allergies head on.
Yo, it's Angel from the Monsters. You want a big green egg? For the lowest prices anywhere, you got to go to my friends, Wassie's Meat Market. They will deliver and set up your big green egg so that you are cooking before they leave. Follow Wassie's Meat Market on Instagram or go to wassiesmeatmarket.com for your big green egg today.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code COOL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Sneezing, coughing, stuffy nose, runny nose, post-nasal drip, interrupted sleeping. I was groggy at the end of the day.
Allergies and sinus congestion were making Jana miserable. Then, a friend recommended Navage. Navage provides immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Navage helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
Navage gave me instant relief. I didn't have to wait 30 minutes. I didn't have to wait an hour, 90 minutes. I didn't have to wait a minute. I ran the rinse and I felt better.
Stop suffering from congestion and start breathing and feeling your best again with Navage. Navage.
I've had people ask me how I find relief, and I tell them Navage immediately. This thing is amazing.
Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid.
Are you over 30 and putting off life insurance? It's time to get a quick quote from Ethos. A better, easier way to get term life insurance. All online with no medical exam. Answer a few health questions and you could be approved for up to $2 million. Isn't it worth 10 minutes to help protect your family's financial security? Ethos. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
This earful of Rail Radio is sponsored by RC Hill Mitsubishi, Highway 1792 in DeLand.
NFL Total Access, the podcast, is getting you ready for the NFL Draft. I'm your host, Andrew Levy, and I'll be delivering 2 shows a week to make sure you're caught up on the latest NFL news, every free agency move, and how it changes the draft needs of your NFL team. Draft experts, talent scouts, mock drafts, and shock drafts too. NFL Total Access, the podcast, on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Presented by T-Mobile for Business. Now is the time for 5G business.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Now back to the most viral newsroom on planet Earth. This
in your brain. We've heard about it for a while now. We've heard of the companies. We've heard of Elon Musk. We've heard of Neuralink. We've heard there was somebody who was paralyzed from the shoulders down and got one of these implants in their brain. And now we're actually seeing the results. But is this impressive? Is this actually worth it? There's a couple of things that I question here, right? I'm not questioning whether or not this whole Neuralink thing is real because they did a demo on it this week. I'm saying if it was real, why did they do it so bootleg? Like,
what was I didn't see it. What was bootleg about it?
I'm going to play it for you, C-Lane, so you and Josh can see what was going on here. Josh, did you watch this Neuralink thing at all?
I don't believe so.
Okay. They went to the guy's house who got the first Neuralink implant, and they went live on X/Twitter, and they just did a stream to try to show off the features of this Neuralink brain chip. And it seemed like I could have done this more professionally, I guess. I don't know. It was weird to me. But I guess I believe for the most part that it's real because they show him using this thing in his brain to power stuff and like doing things with no hands and just using his brain power. But tell me what you think. Here we go. Here's the thing.
All right, we should be streaming live here. Hello, world. How's it going out there? My name is Bliss, and I'm an engineer at Neuralink. And I'd like to introduce you to the first ever user of the Neuralink device.
And he's vertical, too. But maybe if you're streaming on X, you want to do vertical eye. Here's the guy who's got the chip in his brain, and he can't move any of his body except for his head. And he says that this has been a game changer for him.
I think you're my only telekinetic friend that I have.
Yeah, I think so.
Not many more of those out there. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Nolan Arbaugh. I'm 29 years old. About 8 years ago, I was in kind of a freak diving accident, and
see how weird it is? Like Maroon 5 playing in the background.
That is Jamiroquai, my friend.
Virtual insanity, bro. Come
you're
on.
right. You're right. I apologize.
Don't besmirch Jamiroquai.
Yeah. You're right.
And
That's
he
my
turned it
fault.
on with his mind.
Yeah.
He did. And at one point, he turns it off with his mind, too. During this stream, he actually does.
Hilarious if he turns on Rick Astley or something.
Or they're screwing with us, and he's not actually doing this with his brain.
Dislocated my C4, C5, so I'm a complete quadriplegic. So I'm paralyzed from below the shoulders. I have no sensation or movement below my level of injury, so below my shoulders. Yeah, that about covers it, right?
All right, so there's his intro. Like, he can't move anything below his shoulders, and he's in this chair, and they've implanted him with this Neuralink thing, which I want to know if you would do this. Imagine you can't move anything. If you can't move anything below your neck, it'd be kind of cool to be able to do some stuff with your brain, right? Like, focusing in, moving a mouse around. It shows him playing chess. It shows him being able to utilize this technology here. And here he goes.
Do you want to introduce some of your dogs here? Let me.
Yeah.
Oh, well, first I got to introduce the dog.
We got dogs all over the place.
Yeah, that's
all right. Can we get past the dogs into the actual Neuralink? That's what we need.
Yeah, they're just here for the dogs. All right, yeah. So while he's been introducing himself, let me just flip the camera on so you can see what Nolan's been doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to put this on See It Now, by the way, since it's a visual. I'll put this up on the newsjunkie.com in the See It Now section.
You want to explain a little bit what's going on here?
Yeah, so I love playing chess, and so this is one of the things
he's playing chess on his laptop.
Enabled me to do something that I wasn't able to really do much the last few years, especially not like this. I had to use like a mouth stick and stuff, but now it's all.
So he said he's used a mouth stick before. Like that, they put something in his mouth and he moves that around and he's able to control
It's that,
stuff.
that yellow thing that you could see in front of him.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, you're right. That is what that is.
Probably controls his wheelchair mostly.
Yeah, but he was utilizing that to play the computer and stuff before. Now he's not touching that at all. He's just simply playing a game of chess and he's saying with his brain, move the piece here, move the piece there. And when the guy says, hey, you got to shut off this Jamiroquai / Maroon 5, he goes, okay. And with his brain, he moves the little mouse cursor around the screen, goes over, mutes the audio.
It's all being done with my brain. If y'all can see
all with his brain
on the screen, that's all me, y'all. It's pretty cool, huh?
Actually, can you pause the song just for the audio?
Right, he moves the mouse around with his brain. Pauses
and that was
the
also
song.
done with your brain.
Yep.
All right, I think that if this is the beginning of it, I'm kind of impressed. Right? Like, that's not impressive that they've put something in his brain and he can move things around. Now, of course, he has to keep his brain recharged now.
The weird part, I think, right now is that he's really just like moving a cursor around and clicking, which is, it's fascinating if he's, doing that with your brain. But it's also kind of what the Vision Pro does, except it just scans your eyes instead.
Oh, really?
He could have waited and got a Vision Pro instead.
Yeah.
Do you think that would work on somebody who's paraplegic, a Vision Pro?
If they can move their eyes and that they could like pinch their hands, yeah. Now the hand pinch thing, I don't know that he would have. Maybe they would have. I haven't read up as to whether or not they have really dove into a lot of accessibility features with Vision Pro. But you would think that maybe they could do something like blink your eye to click on something.
Yeah. And when I'm impressed enough at the very beginning here, but I don't know how this is going to look in like 5 years or 10 years. Like, if you can now not only click, but you can think of another thing. And check this out. Here's how they taught him to move the mouse. They put the Neuralink in his brain, and they said, I want you to think about moving your right arm. Right? He can't move his right arm, but he said, I want you to think about moving your right arm. And when he thinks about moving his right arm, it lights up a part of his brain. And they say, when that part of the brain lights up, we want to move the mouse this way. And then when he thinks about moving his left arm, which of course he can't move because he's a paraplegic, when he thinks about it, his brain lights up, and that reception is what moves the mouse around. So he's in his head thinking about moving his right arm and his left arm, and the mouse is moving around on the screen as a result. And that's kind
How
of
does
crazy.
up and down work?
I think you have
The
to
legs?
keep. Yeah,
Where's your WASD keys?
It gets complex after a little while.
Man, if this
But
guy needs to force quit anything, he is screwed.
Control-Alt-Delete is going to be tough. Yeah. But I think
now
moving forward,
now
it could
that you
be
know how to
crazy.
move the cursor, if you ever want to click on something, I want you to think of pooping.
Like long term down the road, if they really work on this, that could be huge, because then you put somebody in a robo-suit with arms and legs in the robo-suit, and you go, think about moving your left arm. Now the robo-suit arm moves. Now you're making the people who can't walk. You can let the blind see. You can do all of these different things as a result of these brain chips. For right now, I'm a hard pass on the brain chip. Yeah. But it's cool to see what's happening there at the very least. What do you think? Let us know. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch right now. When we come back, jury duty. We'll see what you think about some of these cases that we're following around the country right now, and a whole lot more on the way on a Thursday. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
You know you can always text us.
Unless you're driving.
At 77031. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
This is Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
The first round of the NCAA tournament is underway. 16 games are on the schedule in Charlotte, Omaha, Pittsburgh, and Salt Lake City. Florida finally knows their NCAA tournament opponent. The 7-seeded Gators will take on 10th-seed Colorado. That one's tomorrow in the South region. And over to the NBA, where the Magic will host Zion Williamson and the Pelicans tonight. Orlando's won 4 in a row and 9 of their last 11. I'm Scott Davidson.
The fully electric EQS sedan from Mercedes-Benz is innovation on a magnificent scale. Available with the epic 56-inch touch-sensitive hype screen. The vehicle is all electric. The feeling is all Mercedes. Learn more at mbusa.com/EQS.
Sunnyside Air Conditioning.
Yes, I need a new air conditioner. Do you...
For a list of things we do, press 1.
I just want to know if you install new
For a list of things we don't do, press 5.
Why would I want a list of things you don't...
To save us time explaining it to you.
Well, I'd hate to waste your time.
So if you'll just press 5, I'll give you a list of what we don't do.
Right.
Which is a lot.
You know, this would never happen with Frank Gay.
If you'd called Frank Gay, you'd probably be talking to a person by now.
That would be nice.
But we're more efficient. Amazing the time we save ourselves by making customers press buttons and talk to robots all day.
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When you need a new air conditioner, you need it done right. A helpful operator to make it easy, and your new AC installed fast. That's the Frank Gay way.
Are you sure you don't want to hear the list of things we don't do? Our list is much longer than Frank Gay's list. That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
You know you should clean your carpet and tile, but did you know there's a right way to clean? Russ Rollins here for Zero Res, and they have figured it out with their patented process that leaves zero sticky, soapy chemical residue behind. They bring their own special ZR water because it cleans better and it dries faster and it's safer for kids and pets. So, no hooking up to your water. Mention my name and you get 20% off your tile and grout cleaning. And carpet cleaning is only $49 per room. Go online to OrlandoZeroRes.com. That's Zero Res, spelled forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Hey, let's get out of here. With Audible, we could root for a lone astronaut as he tries to save Earth from disaster. Maybe go for a run with the founder of the world's biggest sneaker brand. We could get the tea on the real-life media mogul succession drama. Or find out what life is really like for an Oscar-winning actress. I mean, with Audible, we could go anywhere. There's more to imagine when we listen. Hear the latest audiobooks, podcasts, and originals at audible.com.
If you've ever considered a career in the skilled trades industry but you don't know where to start, come visit the job fair at Kalos Services in Claremont on Saturday, March 23rd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're hiring for several positions across all trades, including commercial and residential HVAC, electrical, plumbing, and more. We're offering on-the-spot interviews and provide on-the-job training, so no prior experience is required. To find out more, visit kalosflorida.com/jobs or text or call 352-243-7099.
Did you know that your largest investment asset might not be your retirement account or home? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. Most people don't realize that their life insurance policy is actually an asset they can sell. But for almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. We've even created a free policy value calculator at abacuspays.com so you can find out in seconds what we might pay for your policy. There are no fees and no obligations, just information. Knowing the value of your life insurance policy is as important as knowing the value of your home, your equity portfolio, or your finances in total. Discover the valuable information you need to understand the current market value for your life insurance, and then get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Visit abacuspays.com to learn more and use our free policy value calculator today.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 original stations like 24/7 Comedy.
If they were really donut holes, the bag would be empty.
When you need to laugh, just open the free iHeartRadio app and search Comedy.
Should we call someone? I'm like, no, that's his face.
iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. We'll always be here for you. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you. This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Because the newspapers don't come with cliff notes or potentially offensive accents.
Into the investigations and what's happening in courtrooms around the country, including what the U.S. Coast Guard is dealing with some hoax callers who are calling for help. They're requesting assistance and saying there's an emergency, and they're lying. I'll play you one of them so you can hear what this sounds like in just a moment here. Now, don't forget, you can always join us on the show, and it's super easy to do. All you have to do is send us what we call a dispatch. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com, hit record on your first dispatch right now. And if you're hanging out with us right now, we have a big question for you before the end of the show. Before we wrap things up, a question for you. We're going to need some input on this. We're going to see what you think about this and toss this around a couple different directions. But I think you'll be into what we're going to be discussing before we wrap things up. So here we go. Here goes nothing. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitts of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go, the Lur Firm. Injured on the go, just call Mo. 866-CALL-MO, 866-CALL-MOE, or go to justcallmo.com. if you are in an accident, it is very, very normal for you to need some help, need some assistance after that. And there are lots of different attorneys you could turn to. But Mo is going to hear you out, is going to fight for you, and is not going to listen to some spreadsheet or some software that says, settle now for this much money. It's you and your life, and that's why he's going to fight for you. 866-CALL-MO or go to justcallmo.com. All right, as I said, there is a problem with hoax emergency calls for the U.S. Coast Guard right now. Apparently, they've been dealing with these for a while. And not unlike if somebody called 911 and said, hey, there's a shooting at this location, get here as quick as you can, they have to scramble somebody out there, to scramble the Coast Guard out there. And that's expensive. But this, which has been going on for a while, is way harder to stop, I guess, than 911. And Sealand, you can imagine, like, 911 call comes in. At least in most cases, you can trace it back to its source. Where's this phone call coming from? You can get some information. But these Coast Guard hoaxes come in on VHF, like, breaker. Yeah. They come in on those signals. And I don't know that you can get much, if any, info about somebody who's on that line.
You would need to, much like you would track a cell phone, you would need to have like 3 VHF towers that measure the distance or the intensity maybe of the signal to try and triangulate where it comes from.
But it'd be a lot harder, I would imagine, than utilizing the technology within the 911 system. So here's what these sound like. This is an example of one of these calls where somebody gets on the wave radio or the two-way radio on VHF, and on channel 16 they say there's an emergency here, but there isn't. They believe it's a hoax caller. Now, I would ask you, if you haven't found them, how do you know that it's a hoax caller? Maybe they just keep getting into trouble over and over and over again, and nobody's helping them out. That could be the case. Probably it's fake, and here they are, right? Let's see.
Is there anybody out there help? Anybody out there help?
That's the person who does this over and over.
Help. Is there anybody out there help? Anybody out there help?
And each time they hear this, they find nobody. There's nobody that they can help. Unless it's like a Bermuda Triangle type situation.
Oh, God.
Or Lost. Ooh, what if it was like Lost?
Or Manifest.
And every day they're like, anybody out there? Can we get any assistance? And then every once in a while they hear, Coast Guard here. How can we help you? And they get all excited. We're going to get rescued. But I don't know what's happening here, honestly. I don't know what it is, but it's really, really freaky. They say the U.S. Coast Guard Investigative Service.
It's just supposed to be a 3-hour tour.
They need help locating the person responsible for a series of false distress calls Wednesday in the Baltimore area. The series of false calls began on February 17th, were transmitted over VHF 16. They're believed to have originated from the Strawberry Point area and consisted of a person calling out for help with no location, no description of their vessel. Transmitting false distress calls is a federal crime and can lead to criminal or civil penalties if you're involved in this, they said. So maybe somebody recognizes that voice. I don't know. There's not a lot of it.
Help. Is there anybody out there help? Anybody out there help?
I don't know. If that was Josh, I think I'd pick up on it.
Help. Is anybody out there help? Help. Is anybody out there help?
I know it was you. I wouldn't turn you in, though, bro.
Someone that sounds like JFK really doesn't seem to have much luck.
That's not what I can do for you, but how you can help me.
Exactly. That's word for word, I think.
Yeah.
Let's stay with boats and ships and find out
and hose.
That yet again, I love these Gen Z folks who discover things that are obvious to so many other people. And Gen Z, again, I'm not coming down on you. I love you. I think you're great. I think you get too much crap from the boomers and from the millennials and the Gen X people who everybody forgets about. I have no problem with you. But you do get amazed by things that other people just kind of know about. I always bring up the example of the people who blow the whistle on Panera's soup coming in bags that they microwave.
No.
And some of the other ones where it's like, oh, wow, you didn't know this was a thing. The ones who blew the whistle on the Cheesecake Factory said it's not mandatory for you to tip, right? Like, you can not tip if you want to. And it's like, yes, of course, you're not legally required unless the menu states otherwise.
They just figured that out?
Some of them did. I think that some of it was about like the group, if it's a table over X amount of people. But in this case, a cruise line passenger has made a seemingly startling discovery of security cameras that overlook the balconies on her ship. And she said, oh, my God, they've been like spying on me here on the cruise ship. And they zoom in with their camera on a security camera mounted discreetly on the side of the ship. And they said, I should have charged them, implying that the camera might have caught some sort of sexual activity on behalf of her. And people were saying, I wonder how many times they see stuff. They got a free show, said somebody else. No, folks, the cameras on the side of a cruise ship are when people fall overboard. Ooh. That's what they want to catch if somebody falls overboard, so they can see what's going on, where they dropped into the sea. They like get hooked up to alarm systems. Hey, something flew past this camera, so perhaps somebody did just go overboard. It's a security measure. It's a safety
thing. Or at the very least, somebody is now in trouble for throwing something overboard.
That too, because that's a very big thing on these cruise lines. But it's not to spy on you. It's not to catch you having sex. It's to catch somebody who's either off the side of the ship themselves, or maybe they threw like a deck chair over the side of the ship. That's a totally normal thing for them to have on these cruise ships. So no need to worry. Everything's all right. We'll continue to move forward. And when we come back, we're going to continue to hear from you. In fact, maybe it's the first time ever. Go to thenewsjunkie.com right now and record your first dispatch. Have you ever been on a cruise? Have you ever been caught on camera having sex? All of these things are things that we could ask you about. But the biggest question of all is, should C-Lane host the show tomorrow?
I think you're sounding good. You know, you asked privately during one of the commercial breaks early on, out of 100, what I thought your voice was, and I said about an 80, 82.
Yeah.
And
Courtney had told me 76 to 78 right before that.
I still think 80 to 82. I think that it hasn't gotten worse. I mean, it hasn't gotten better, but I mean, what do you expect? The tea is helping you maintain.
Might be working right now. It's not the night stuff because I'm still awake here. You know me, I'd be out cold by now. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, I would be excited about C-Lane hosting. I probably listen to the show just to be like, this is fun.
Don't tell me that. It's going to make it even worse.
I'd be like,
Courtney, you know this show's pretty good.
I'm just going to imagine you like in bed watching or listening to the show going, ooh, that one did not land.
No, like you, Josh, and Sabrina doing the show is something I've never heard before. I would be super interested. Eric says C-Lane would do good, but he would rather have a best of day off. C-Lane sometimes wants to work when nobody else wants to work.
It's always Friday. It's always Friday because, like, if we plan on having a Friday off, we will act accordingly to plan for the weekend edition. But then if we just wake up on a Friday and in the group chat somebody's like, hey, what do you guys think about taking the day? I'm like, no, we need to finish the weekend thing. All right,
he does that. When I'm fishing, I'll be like, guys, I'm a little under the weather today. Not sure if I'm going to make it out. Cena's like, get your ass into the studio.
My favorite Josh was when he was real hungover, and I guess I didn't realize how hungover he was, but I came into the studios when we did it in the garage studio, and he's laying on the guest couch going, all you had to do was say yes. That's all you had to do.
Yeah. Probably the day after secret shows, and all hell breaks loose. I might be able to make through the next hour of this. Then we got to figure out what to do with secret shows. Should we do an emergency pod for secret shows? You guys definitely shouldn't come into the studio here and do secret shows.
This is like a contagious kind of deal?
I think so. I got stuff dripping out of my nose, man.
Gross.
I just replaced this, so it's not so bad, but my previous thing was really soaking wet from just all sorts of nose clams. All the nose clams one could ever imagine.
It's the wrong kind of nose clams.
No, not what you're after. Somebody says live trivia, just a day full of live trivia. Ted says, Sean going for the 3-day work week. I'm not trying for it, Ted. I think I might be able to muscle through. Who knows? even if I just start and then eject out of here. We'll see. I have no idea what's going to happen. Honest to God, I really don't. We'll see. Listen tomorrow and figure out what goes down. When we return, we'll find out.
I've already been asked, if you don't go to secret shows tonight, can I still watch Vanderpump Rules? And I think Top Chef. Hold on, what was it?
Oh, the Top Chef, yeah.
Yes. If you don't do secret shows, could I still watch Vanderpump Rules and Top Chef tonight? And I said, yes, I will likely be doing work if.
All right, we'll figure it all out, folks. But when we come back, you know what we're going to figure out together? A pastor paid somebody $40,000. But what was it for? What did the pastor want?
Oh, you didn't say priest, you said pastor. So.
No, it's a little different, but who knows? We'll see. A lot of question marks today on the show. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Do you do words good? Prove it. The Talkback feature on the free iHeartRadio app. Follow Real Radio 104.1, tap the microphone, and speak.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Watch out for delays where US 192 meets John Young Parkway. Traveling on I-4 this afternoon, you could expect your regular delays before US 27 and approaching Sand Lake Road. There's a couple accidents to watch out for where Fairbanks Avenue meets Semarin Boulevard. There's delays in all directions. Lee Road westbound at Wymore Road, the right lane is blocked. If you see traffic troubles, please call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Come to Audible and discover the best selection of audiobooks without exception. Bestsellers, new releases, plus podcasts and exclusive Audible originals. You'll find everything you love all in one place. Sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
A Fifth Third Better means we put in 166.7%.
What does that mean?
Well, at Fifth Third Bank, our name equals 166.7%. So that's how hard we work. That means free checking, no hidden fees, and helping to protect your identity.
Explain it in baseball terms?
It's a home run.
Basketball terms?
It's a slam dunk.
Football.
Touchdown.
Highlight?
Buzzball.
Cricket.
Golden duck.
Wow. Guess that really is a Fifth Third Better.
That's what a Fifth Third Better means. This is banking a Fifth Third Better. Fifth Third Bank, National Association member FDIC.
Hard Rock Bet presents Legal in Florida.
You can bet the game on Hard Rock Bet. No more betting inside your head. Now Hard Rock Bet is legal in Florida. Now Hard Rock Bet is legal in Florida. Legal in Florida. It's safe, it's legal. We'll repeat that it is legal. Top rated sportsbook and it's the only one that's legal.
Get a no-regret first bet up to $100 when you sign up now. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 and over and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Tommy Mello here, owner of A1 Garage Door Service. Springtime savings are here, and now is the perfect time to service your garage. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. Call A1 Garage today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here with my friend Judy from Life Imaging FLA. Judy, you know, when you told me about 9 months ago you're going to be changing lives and saving lives, I had no idea it was going to be this impactful.
I told you so, Jim.
You did tell me so.
Yes, sir. Matter of fact, since May, 71 people have came in that we have found heart disease or issues in their full body that we've saved their lives.
That's unbelievable, 71 people. Because here's the thing, with heart disease, you can't do that. Because 30% of the people who had that first symptom, it's sudden death. You have to be proactive. And the cool thing is your scanner over at Life Imaging FLA allows you to do that.
Absolutely. Take control of your own life.
That's right. Be proactive today. Take control of your health. Call Life Imaging FLA right now. Get that free heart scan. Just a few minimum requirements. That is a $699 value, and it couldn't be easier. From your cell phone, call pound 250. Say the keyword free heart scan. That's all you have to do. Pound 250. Say the keyword free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. And remember, when you get there, ask about the cancer screening as well. It is better to know now than worry about this tomorrow. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Spring is in the air, but so are airborne allergens like tree pollen, grass, mold, and ragweed. If spring allergies keep you trapped inside, then you need Navage Nasal Care to keep you breathing clearly and enjoying all the beauties of spring. Navage helps clear nasal passages that are often clogged because of seasonal allergies. Navage gently flushes a pure, refreshing saline solution through your nasal passages to clear out congestion, sucking out that springtime pollen and other irritants trapped in your nose. Navage springs into action quickly, helping you breathe more clearly in just 30 seconds. And you don't need a never-ending cycle of decongestants that can leave you feeling drowsy. Navage is the fast and easy drug-free allergy solution that helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Get Navage today so you can get outdoors and enjoy your favorite springtime activities. Navage is available online at Navage.com or in stores at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Target. Navage, Navage. Breathe easy.
Imagine a world where animals and humans coexist in harmony, where wild animals thrive, habitats are protected, and marginalized communities are empowered. At International Animal Rescue, this is our vision. Our holistic, community-led projects not only rescue animals, but also protect and replenish precious habitats, creating a better future for us all. But we can't do this without you. Show your support now and help keep the wild wild. Visit internationalanimalrescue.org.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
If you're the victim of a car crash, never rush to settle with the insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anna Jar Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Think orange for your next vehicle. OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you deserve better. Contact them at whenyounneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips at
No one else seems to be. And I find it thoroughly interesting that there's so many people who are very, very angry, mostly about things that they think are happening online,
Facebook,
on social media,
Instagram, Twitter,
that are not true, that are just like scams, jokes. People are screwing with you, but you get all fired up about it. And I'll give you an example here. There's a page that's starting to get some attention, and I got it here in front of me, Sealand. It says, Selena 52 Diner is the name of the place, okay? And what this is it's a pretend diner in Selena, Tennessee, I think, Celina 52 Diner. And every one of their posts is some fake thing that happened in this diner. And it picks up traction because people go, oh my God, that's disgusting, or how could you do that? And everybody gets all upset about this, and they just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And now they have like a fake food truck, a fake this, a fake that. Here's an example of one of their posts. This one says, Today was a special day here at the diner. We received a phone call around 3 o'clock in the morning from this boy's parents. They had informed us that their son, who is homeschooled, had been getting bullied in his virtual classes. Mason had told us his teacher was bullying him. So now the teacher in the virtual classes is bullying him. One thing we do not allow...
I'm not laughing at that. There's another post that's really funny on this.
Grab some other ones if you see these in the feed there. One thing we do not allow is bullying on our premises. We told the parents to bring him, and around noon we would surprise him. We were happy to see our buddy Mason excited to get lunch with our owner Bill, and we gave him a new gift to take home. And the kid has a cheeseburger in his hand, the kid who supposedly got bullied. He's got a Coors Light in front of him. He's a little kid. He's got a Coors Light in front of him. And the owner is sitting with a giant hookah on his lap in front of him. And, of course, there's like 3 things about this photo that are weird along with the statement. And so people start commenting on it. And they're like, how could you do this? Now, why does a little kid have a beer? And they say all these different things. But it's all done on purpose just to get you to freak out. It's not a real restaurant. What's the one that you found?
It's not even a real Coors Light. Coors Light is spelled with a G-H-T, not L-I-T-E like Miller Lite.
I think it's either AI or...
Does that reflect on me poorly for noticing that?
That is a very specific thing to know. But
I have one here that says, we want to give a huge congrats to David Woodall from Somerset, Kentucky on winning our Hellman's Mayo Challenge.
Oh,
David was able to finish all 6 cups within our 3-minute timer, completing a challenge that had been failed every year since starting in 2008. I want to thanks to the donated to our summer fundraiser, the fight against trucker littering. We brought in $67.43. And then it shows a guy with...
Here, I have the photo in front of me.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
Yeah. The guy... the winner of the 6 cups of Hellman's mayonnaise has no arms. He's a man with just stumps. And... all of the posts are like this, and every single one of them
says, David, if you see this, you left your $20 gift card to AutoZone. We have your prize in the office.
It's all trolling. It's trying to screw around with people, and then they turn it into a business by selling merch for the fake company.
Which is hilarious.
And everybody just loses it. There's another one. They said Jaeger, they're pretending this little kid's name is Jaeger. Jaeger is the winner of Win Bill's Truck, an anti-littering campaign we hosted over the winter for the person who picked up the most bags of trash. This is the same truck that our owner Bill used to intentionally crash into a drunk driver in 2019. And it's been sitting ever since. Jaeger's parents paid for a rollback to haul it home this morning and plan to get it running again before he turns 16 in 8 years. And it's like, all of it is so stupid. But in the comments of every single one of them, you just see, every post, you see people freaking out. How could you do this? This is disgusting. Well, you know, it's like engagement bait is the biggest thing going.
Tomorrow we will be hosting 60s Days at the diner. Bring your grandparents out and enjoy the evening with us. Anyone born in the 60s will be eligible for 2% off your meal. It does actually say eligible. I'm not just...
That's not you.
And 1 free song request from the jukebox. Then it has a picture of an old man and like an old picture of a man in overalls and his wife with a shirt that says, I blow more than just kisses. And it says, there will be no Wi-Fi available tomorrow. We want it to feel authentic.
See, it's so stupid. And look at the comments on every post. It's half people who are role-playing, like they're part of this Selena 52 diner, and half people that it popped up on their feed because of a friend, and they go, how could you do this? This is ridiculous. Another one, it all looks like AI. Noah was our customer of the month for February and got to spin the lucky prize wheel this afternoon. His initial spin landed on a Waycar 2,000 square foot dehumidifier for home and basements with auto or manual drainage. Surprisingly, Noah elected to use his bonus spin to try to win a different prize. And he lucked out with this Duracell automotive battery, group size 34. And so it's just, all of it is so stupid. But people get upset about these nothingness things. It's all just engagement bait.
I like it.
Has been around for a very long time on the internet, without a doubt, but has never been this much around. So let's say you wanted to get attention like this. One of the ones that they did that I saw was they took a side-by-side and they said, like, bring it on, Popeyes. Our fried chicken sandwich beats all the competition. And it's a clearly like uncooked piece of chicken in the chicken sandwich. It's like pink and you definitely should not be eating this. Most people go, I get it. It's a prank. But like 50% of the people will be like, you shouldn't be serving that to people. That's dangerous. You're going to hurt somebody. Yeah. Holy cow, man. Good God. All right, over to something else in the restaurant world, because people are also freaking out about this. Subway has decided to make a decision that is turning many people off.
Okay.
Have
you guys seen this? Are you aware of what Subway has done?
I don't know, but I was there this morning. Would I have seen it this morning?
Not yet, because it's on the way. This is going to be the last year things are this way at Subway, and then everything changes at Subway moving forward. Any idea what people are very upset about? This will get them fired up. This will get people fired up, man.
Getting rid of the footlong.
No, they're not getting rid of footlong subs. They're going a different direction. And this will absolutely cause people to go, I'm never going to Subway again.
They're offering fake meat.
Oh, no, but that would do it. Yeah, just so much as saying we're going to offer a Beyond Meat turkey sandwich would have, I ain't eating that no more at Subway. Subway has announced they're the latest chain to switch from Coke to Pepsi products. Entirely. They have entered a 10-year agreement with PepsiCo as of March 19th, and they said the official drink shift will begin in January of 2025, and now, as of next year, you will not have any of those Coca-Cola products at Subway locations. You actually will lose some business off of that.
Yeah.
Because people are very serious about this stuff. Now, you might gain some back, people that are fans of the Pepsi products, but changing that up, and somebody says bring back Jared. No, they're not bringing back Jared from Subway. That is off and sailed away and not coming back anywhere soon here. But they said this is an agreement that they have, and they're moving from Coke to Pepsi products, which is a big deal, actually.
Yeah, I think that sometimes I don't pick restaurants because I know they have Pepsi. I mean, it doesn't bother me a lot, but I also just prefer Coke products.
Yeah, and people just think by default a lot of times you have one or the other. And people go to the restaurant, they'll be like, I'll take a Coke. And we only have Pepsi products.
Or like, if we're going to Costco, we're like, let's get that $1.50 hot dog. I'm like, yeah, but I have to have a Pepsi with it. And half the time the ice machine is empty, so it's a warm Pepsi.
Are there any places that have both? That have
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven does? That's the genius thing. And the one thing that I don't think anybody will complain about,
gas stations in general. Gas stations have both. I don't know why they are allowed to not be exclusive when so many other places are, but yeah.
You know what? I used to make fun of Sealand for this, and I can't believe it. I was so wrong about this. He used to get excited about the freestyle Coca-Cola machines, and I was like, this is the dumbest thing. And then I started to get the freestyle Cokes, and I was like, these are amazing. If you put this in every store, everybody has something that they'll like, and you will find something that people enjoy. You're not going to piss people off switching to that, I don't think.
It's not that I was super excited about the freestyle Coca-Cola machines. And Pepsi actually has a version of that. Not a lot of people.
Do they really?
Not a lot of people know that Pepsi has a touch screen, pick your own flavor kind of deal.
I had no idea. I had not heard of that.
I think hotels that are Pepsi specific, Pepsi. Like, if that's their drink.
Affiliates
stuff like that, yeah.
Pepsi partners? I don't even know what they call themselves.
Clients.
People.
But, yeah, I wasn't really so much excited about the idea of the machine, although I did like some of the flavors. But some of those flavors are just like, anymore, I'm like, it doesn't do it for me. What excited me about that, what I really appreciated and thought was cool, was during the pandemic, they quickly updated the software on all of them to include a QR code that you could scan on your phone and use the phone to control the output of the soda.
Yeah.
Instead of having to touch the device. And I was
That's crazy.
I was like, that because these are already internet connected devices, all you had to do was have a great idea, hire some of your developers, say, hey, do something this cool. You got to generate a QR code and let people do this on their cell phone, and boom, it's already a safer device to use than your regular everyday soda fountain.
People are very split on this. Pepsi is good, and then Pepsi is trash, and then back
those
and
are the two
forth.
ways to go with Pepsi.
Yeah, that's all you got. All right, over to this pastor. I told you about it before the break. Excuse me. And this pastor spend $40,000 on something you're not supposed to spend money on as a pastor, or anybody for that matter. California police say they have arrested this pastor on suspicion of attempted murder, in fact, charging that he paid nearly $40,000 to have his daughter's boyfriend shot in a murder-for-hire plot last year. Samuel Pasillas, 47, who they identified as the pastor of a Spanish-speaking church in Victorville, is the one who was arrested. The victim said last year he was shot multiple times from inside a car that pulled up alongside his neighborhood, and they tracked it down. They found out it was a murder for hire, and it was a pastor whose daughter was dating somebody he didn't want her to be with, so he forked over $40,000 for an attempted murder that nearly took his life. What do you think? Worth it? Not worth it? Let us know. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and hit record on your first dispatch right now. When we return, Don Lemon's X deal that fell apart is way more insane than anybody has any idea.
I saw this tweet that you tweeted last night, and I was like, wow, that is quite the ask.
Yeah, he was really going for it in the negotiation phase, I guess. What did Don Lemon want from Elon Musk's X.com/Twitter? Well, you're going to find out. We'll look into the contract next. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Travel with caution. Authorities are clearing up an accident on Colonial Drive eastbound at Park Avenue. The right lane is blocked. There's an accident where Fairbanks Avenue meets Severin Boulevard, causing delays in all directions. Travel with caution through there. And expect a bit of delays through the city on I-4 eastbound between Michigan Street and State Road 408. If you see any traffic troubles, please call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by HCA Florida Osceola East Emergency. HCA Florida Osceola East Emergency in St. Cloud at 4920 East Erlo Bronson Highway is now open 24/7. Visit HCAFloridaHealthcare.com to learn more. This emergency department is part of HCA Florida Osceola Hospital. This is not an urgent care center. Its services are billed at hospital rates.
Elevate your outdoor living space this year using stone. Tanzite has developed stone decking crafted without any plastic composite materials to redefine durability. Visit Tanzite.com to see how stone decking doesn't scratch, stays cooler, isn't slippery, and has all the durability you would expect from stone, which is why it's guaranteed for life. At Tanzite.com, you will see how we developed stone to easily transform any ordinary wood deck. You can even make your deck waterproof for a dry space below. Versatile and adaptable, Tanzite is perfect for decks, stairs, over concrete, or ground applications. Visit Tanzite.com to start planning your project with a free 3D design and construction plan tailored to your space. Order a sample today to witness the incredible beauty and durability firsthand at Tanzite.com. That's TANZITE.com.
Orlando's top-rated comedy club and restaurant is celebrating becoming the Funny Bone. Formerly the Improv Comedy Club, the Funny Bone guarantees the same great talent and live comedy with a new name at Point Orlando. The Funny Bone welcomes Jay Farrow, March 22nd and 23rd.
White folks, I love y'all. 'Cause I used to live in a dangerous neighborhood, and when I saw y'all walking around, I felt safe.
Followed by Shade Arena, March 29th through the 30th. Calendar and showtimes at orlando.funnybone.com.
Slam dunk savings going on now at DeLand Nissan. Drive away for less with huge savings on over 100 Nissan models in stock. Score big with pre-owned vehicles too, with new trade-ins arriving daily.
It's not just a Nissan, it's a DeLand Nissan.
Hey homeowners, Russ Rollins here to talk to you about something serious, your power bill. Last summer was tough, but this year could be even worse. So don't wait until the last minute to get protection and savings from solar power and backup power. Solar Source has a new pay-as-you-go solar package that lets you start with an affordable base system and add solar panels over time. Plus, their pay-as-you-go battery backup is awesome, and it lets you add critical backup power as you go. Schedule a free consultation at Solar Aerosource.com/monsters. Get ready for a stress-free summer.
My wife and I both, we ended up mildly sick for a few months, and the nasal congestion was probably the worst part. I had like a post-nasal drip, just super congested all the time. We were taking everything we possibly could, but nothing really worked.
Kyrie was miserable until a friend recommended Navage. Navage offers immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Don't live in misery this cold season. Use Navage so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
The biggest thing Navage has done has completely cleaned out my nasal passages. It was from the first use. I was able to just clear out anything that was stopping me from breathing correctly. Navage helps me clear the way, literally clear the way, for me to operate better in the rest of my life.
Experience the Navage difference yourself. Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, Navage.
Picture this. You're with a group of friends and someone offers you a pill. Maybe you've also had a drink or two. The thing is, you don't know what's in that pill or how it will react with the alcohol in your body. The person who gave it to you might not even know. And by taking it, you may increase your risk for an overdose. Every day, nearly 300 Americans die from drug use. More than half are using more than one substance at a time, sometimes unintentionally. Get the facts. Be your own advocate. Take care to live well. Learn more at cdc.gov/stop overdose.
Sunnyside Plumbing.
Yes, I've got a leaking...
To leave us a testimonial saying how happy you are with our service, press 1.
But you haven't even...
For all other inquiries, please hang up.
Wait, what?
Hang up and call Frank Gay. We're busy watching the game.
You know what? I think I will. When you have a leak, you need solutions on your schedule. A helpful expert who can find the problem and fix it fast.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Hard Rock Bet presents Legal in Florida.
You can bet the game on Hard Rock Bet. No more betting inside your head. Now Hard Rock Bet is legal in Florida. Now Hard Rock Bet is legal in Florida. Legal in Florida. It's safe, it's legal. We'll repeat that it is legal. Top rated sportsbook and it's the only one that's legal.
Get a no-regret first bet up to $100 when you sign up now. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 and over and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 original stations waiting for you to explore right now, like 24/7 comedy.
Men don't settle down. We surrender. Women, we never express the emotions we're actually feeling, right? I'm fine means I'm about to stab you in the neck.
Clips from today's top comedians and the greatest of all time.
Donut hole. If you want a donut, have a donut. Why are you eating the hole?
When you need a laugh, just open the free iHeartRadio app and search comedy.
You can actually change the station.
iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
GMC Sierra trucks in stock now at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
Radio.
Join in on the chaos. We eagerly await your dispatch. This is...
Signed many a contract. I know how to do the whole contract dance. I know when to call it quits and just leave, which, who knows? You know, it could be at any moment now. And I know what is asking too much, right? You got to ask just the right amount and then a click more, right? That's what you're going for in a contract negotiation. However, when I saw this like outline of a contract or outline of a possible deal from Don Lemon's management team,
a lot of clicks.
I was like, whoa, you guys really went for it, huh? And I bring this up because Don Lemon sat down and interviewed Elon Musk. And he was doing like everything I expected him to do. Don Lemon's like the guy who's going to sit down and try to do a gotcha interview.
Has he released that video?
Yeah. I've watched about half of it or so. I got bored at some point because it was kind of the same thing over and over again. And I think Don Lemon probably looks at it because this is just where his brain's at. And he's like, I'm just asking the tough questions. But what he was trying to do was a traditional gotcha interview where it's like, here's something you've said in the past. Will you admit that you were wrong here? Will you admit, like, that's not a tough interview per se. That it can be, but what you're just doing is trying to get somebody to apologize for a clip. Right?
I think that these days, there's so many people that actually do the apologizing that it's almost like you've got the gotcha journalism if they say, no, I still stand by what I said.
Right. It's a lot of people do that. It's post-Trump, and there's a lot of people just like, nope, I triple down now. That's what I'm going for. But Elon didn't like the interview because he's a little bit sensitive, or a lot of bit sensitive. He thought if he was going to be paying people to be on his platform, maybe they would say nice things about him. And Don Lemon either didn't care or wasn't smart enough to see where this would go.
Didn't he claim that, though, that he told Don he could ask whatever he wants, or that it was going to be no holds barred?
I'm sure he says all that, but like he still probably thinks, yes, but I'm going to be paying this guy, so he's going to at least give me more respect than he thought he got. And they just have very different thoughts on things. I happen to agree a little bit more with Elon, and they got into a back and forth about moderation on Twitter. This conversation could be about moderation on any platform for as far as I'm concerned. And I agree with Elon for the most part on moderation. Elon Musk says there are laws. If something is illegal, if the speech is illegal in some way, then we'll remove it from our platform. If not, then we're engaging in censorship. And Don Lemon completely could not grapple that idea. What do you mean? But if somebody says something about a minority community, it's doing harm, so that is a crime. It's like, no, we remove things from the platform that are crimes. Otherwise, we're engaging in censorship if we decide, hey, we're going to get rid of this, but not this. You can go after this group, but not this group. And it becomes an impossible to manage thing. If you just say, if it's illegal, we'll take it down. Now, they go further on Twitter and X to do something else. That is to de-amplify. So they won't take down your post, but if you say, I really think the Jews are... You maybe didn't break a law in your country, could have in some countries like Germany, but you maybe didn't break a law, but they'll still say, we're not going to amplify this to any more people. We're going to make it just like dead out there and just on your account. So there's censorship, there's taking off illegal things, and then there's not amplifying things that are really bad and negative for the platform. The last thing I think X does a pretty bad job at. They amplify a lot of things that are pretty bad. And that's why discourse is on the platform how it is. Because they know that, just like the stupid thing about the fake diner, if somebody says, here's what I think about Israel and Palestine, and they give you a nuanced take about the history of the two groups, and they say, this is what we need to do. We need to find a two-state solution so there could be peace in the Near East, yada, yada, yada. That is going to get like 3 likes, and 10 people are going to see it. But if you say they should nuke the Palestinians, or the Jews don't deserve to be in Israel, kick them out again, the Nazis were right, that is going to get way more attention in every possible way from people who disagree with you, maybe some people who agree with you, but it's just going to be much more spicy in terms of the distribution the tweet gets, which maybe is good or bad. Anyways, back to Don Lemon. Here's his contract. Here's what he was offering up as the outline for his contract. It says Don Lemon's strategy. Overall, Don Lemon wants to launch a new series on a newly announced media company that will be announced in a press release on or around the launch of content on X, focused on current events, news, opinions, etc., that will launch in partnership with X on a non-exclusive basis unless otherwise mentioned. So the first thing you should know is this is not exclusive. He's like, you're going to pay me over there at Twitter/X, but also I'm going to put it everywhere else too. I'm still going to do this. The term 1 year with a 1 year option in Don's sole discretion. So you're going to pay him for a year, and then if he wants to stay around for another one, then you'll pay him for 2 years. Content deliverables. Live audio. He will commit to no less than 1 audio space on Twitter per week. Wow. Live, doesn't say what length, by the way. Doesn't say no determination of length of this. Live video. Don will commit to no less than 1 live video spaces per week. On-demand video. 3 to 5 days a week, a full-length video on X for the Untitled Don Lemon Show. Then they said, question for X, can live streams be saved or downloaded for on-demand, blah, blah, blah. Here's what they want, the fees and the economics. Don Lemon wanted this from Twitter/X. $5 million a year advance against future ad revenue to commit to provide make goods across platforms. $5 million to be non-exclusive. So, like, you could just post your video on Twitter, or you could demand that they pay $5 million that you post your video on Twitter and all the other sites. And each year of the term, X will pass 100% of all gross revenue across premium, subscription, and advertising once they recoup their $5 million investment. Then he wants $10 million in on-platform marketing per year. So Twitter ads, $10 million of it free for old Don Lemon. Then he wants OOH marketing. Is that outside of house?
That's what it seems like.
That's my guess. Then he wants X to provide a resident space for Don Lemon on the platform and create a landing page on the news tab. So when you go to Twitter and click news, Don Lemon wants his own tab over there. Nobody else has this.
A lemon tab.
He wants the lemon tab. Not even Tucker Carlson has this. Then he talks about
did he ask X to throw him a lemon party?
They did not mention that in here necessarily. They talked about like offering support, and then on the bottom it says partnership. Don also wants to receive equity in x.com/Twitter over the 2-year term. So he wants stock. Don wants bonuses for reposting or amplifying X content. So he wants money to get to retweet things on the platform. You do it for free, but fine. Don wants to receive a finder's fee commission for any new advertiser or previously canceled advertiser who advertises on his content with a bonus on their additional non-Don spend. Non-Don is funny to put in there.
Don and non-Don.
Don Lemon wants to receive a Tesla Cybertruck because,
that's the worst part of that whole deal.
Why not? That's not even related to this, but he wants a Tesla Cybertruck because he feels like Elon could pull that off, I guess.
I mean, and he could.
He could. Yeah, he could. It says Don wants to receive.
I don't even think that the Cybertruck is one of the bigger asks. I mean,
you think the
millions of dollars, the stock equity, the bonuses for, I'm sure the bonuses he would want for his retweets aren't cheap. I think the Cybertruck is one of the easiest asks.
He also wants rev share or bonus for subscribers he drives to the platform. So if you sign up for Twitter or X for their premium.
And it's on X to track his conversions.
Yeah, it's on them. He wants to do the first podcast in space to be hosted by Don and space travel provided by SpaceX.
That's the big ask there.
Like, you want to go to space? You want to do the first podcast in space? My God. Rachel says, big CNN personality, Sean. He's not a big anything personality right now, and he wasn't a big personality when he was on CNN. The guy was usually at third place. If he was second place, he was lucky in the cable news world alone.
He was there to get drunk on New Year's Eve.
Yes, that he was great at.
Is that spot still open? I mean, because I can...
You'd like to take that?
Yeah. I think Andy Cohen's been taking it, but maybe you could have
it. She's got some problems himself. It says he wants to host and co-host debates with Elon around the presidential election. They said X will consult Don Lemon when making decisions related to any news content on the platform or any policy changes. Don to work in an advisory capacity. Don will receive a percentage of the budget on X's future spend on original content. And Don will approve of any other news or current events talent deals and partnerships. So if they want to hire anybody else to do this, Don Lemon has to approve of it. For God's sake, man.
That is a bit excessive, I think.
Yeah. Go for it. I mean, ask for whatever you can get. But the fact is, he was never going to get this. This is insanity. Like, if you were Taylor Swift.
Could you imagine Don Lemon driving around that Tesla Cybertruck?
Yeah. Well, this is what happens when you get a cable news show and when your head starts to get big, you start to go, they need me. They don't need you. Elon Musk wanted people to start posting original content on his platform. And people did start to kind of do that. I think it's kind of dumb, honestly, if you ask me my honest take on this. My honest take is I don't see people watching 20, 30-minute videos on Twitter. It's just
Tucker
not.
Carlson does.
I know, and I know they get views, but I think they count 3 seconds as a view. How many people are watching a 40-minute complete video on these platforms? I'm not doing that, and maybe you are. Let me know if that's the case. Somebody said, I've never heard of this person. I thought you were saying Don Lemon, the comedian. No, he's a news guy. And it's not that he's
His demands
completely
were funny.
It's not that he's completely void of any talent. It's just that you're not getting that. If Taylor Swift said, I'm going to stop doing all of my performing and I'm only going to post videos on X, she could demand that. Tay-Tay in space is happening, baby. It's going on. But otherwise, it's just not going to be a thing for anybody out there. What do you
Elon
think?
tweeted that even though I think Don Lemon, and he used the lemon emoji instead of spelling it out, is a pompous fool who spouts nonsense, he's still free to upload his show to X and will receive advertising revenue.
All right, wow. Which, mind you, they made a big deal out of that ad revenue the first time they started to dole it out, and then quietly they got really silent about that. Why? Because most people, almost everybody on the platform, is making nothing off this stuff. They're making nothing. If you're a content creator, stand by your own belief system. And if that belief system is that you should be compensated for creating stuff, go to the platforms that compensate you. Go to YouTube. If you think it's Boomer Town, fine, but go to Facebook. Facebook will pay you when you get a lot of views on your videos. But some of these other platforms, TikTok is tops, and Twitter for sure. You're lucky that they even decide to give you anything. A lot of the other platforms won't give you a dime on their platform. All right, a couple of dispatches real quick. Here's Coca Bill talking about freestyle machines. All right, here we go.
So the Coca-Cola freestyle machine was created by the same person who created the Segway and the artificial heart valve.
Is that true?
And on every machine, you'll find his favorite drink, Barks Vanilla Root Beer.
Really? I thought the Segway guy died falling over the Grand Canyon on a Segway.
Was that the inventor or like the CEO of the company?
One of the two. And
I
I'm
remember
not
that,
sure.
though.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like the guy who had something to do with Segway, he was riding a Segway and fell into the Grand Canyon, which is hilarious. I'm sorry if he's your family member or something, but that's hilarious. That's one of the funniest ways to die I've ever heard of in my entire life. Sorry, it's the cough medicine getting to my system
is it?
today. Yeah, that's what it is.
It is?
I assure
The
you, yeah.
Freestyle's beverage dispensing technology was designed by Dean Kamen, the inventor of the Segway, in return for Coca-Cola distributing his Slingshot water purification system. So there's a little,
turned out
little
cool.
quid pro quo there.
I didn't hear about that much afterwards.
Yeah, the guy that died owned the company. His name was Jimmy Heselden.
Are you on the Wikipedia for the dude?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it's the Grand Canyon, right? Is that what it was?
Death.
Let's go down to death.
He was walking his dog near Thorpe Arch when he reversed and fell off a nearby cliff into River Wharf. So not the Grand Canyon, but he did fall off a cliff.
Fell off a cliff on the Segway, and there you go. What a world we live in, folks. What do you think? Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send us your first dispatch right now. When we come back, final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Thursday. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is Real Music Weekends.
I'll stop the world and melt with you.
Real Music Weekends. This weekend on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast on this Thursday. For today, we'll expect a mostly sunny sky and warm temperatures. We'll expect highs to climb into the upper 70s and low 80s with a high of 81 degrees for Orlando. Clouds will increase late this afternoon and into this evening. That will be out ahead of our next round of some showers set to arrive for our Friday, which is a weather impact day due to the potential of some isolated heavier downpours. We'll expect some shower and thunderstorm action as well into our Saturday. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Walt Disney World.jobs.
Walt Disney World Resort is hiring. Explore a variety of full-time and part-time roles at the heart of the magic and enjoy great benefits like complimentary theme park admission, exclusive discounts, and more. Apply today at waltdisneyworld.jobs.
Embark on a journey through the most absurd moments of the human story with Ridiculous History, the podcast that explores the bizarre corners of human existence, like the evolution of the toilet the story of Comic Sans, or the exploits of the notorious Aaron Burr.
Aaron Burr is like, one day, my life is going to be part of a musical.
However, though, he probably didn't necessarily at this point think that he was going to be the villain.
Listen to Ridiculous History on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war in term life. Industry rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month, level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110 level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call for a free quote today. 800-200-2250. That's 800-200-2250. Don't wait. Call 800-200-2250. 800-200-2250. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else. And we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. From your cell, dial pound 250 and say keyword great results. That's pound 250 and say great results.
Hey, let's get out of here. With Audible, we could root for a lone astronaut as he tries to save Earth from disaster. Maybe go for a run with the founder of the world's biggest sneaker brand. We could get the tea on the real-life media mogul succession drama. Or find out what life is really like for an Oscar-winning actress. I mean, with Audible, we could go anywhere. There's more to imagine when we listen. Hear the latest audiobooks, podcasts, and originals at audible.com.
I'm Chris Walls, and I'm a truck driver from Missouri. For 13 hours a night, I sit in my truck and I drive. Out of boredom, I'll stop and eat. If I'm not doing fast food, I guarantee there's a bag of chips open on my dashboard. Along with that, I'm good for about 4 liters of soda a night. That was all until Andro 400. I started out 4 months ago weighing 341 pounds, and since taking Andro 400, I have dropped 45 pounds. I'm sleeping better. There's no cravings. My knee pain went away. I've had some lower back issues, and I've noticed that went away, and I can only contribute that to Andro 400. One thing that Andro 400 said on the radio ad says it attacks belly fat. Well, let me tell you, it did. I've lost 6 inches. This product really does work.
So guys, if you'd like to experience similar results, then get Andro 400, the safe, natural, and inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
I owe the IRS $37,000.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies. They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803. Don't wait. Call now. 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803.
I had so many dreams, but life quickly got in the way. Then, Rasmussen University saw my true potential and gave me the support and confidence I needed to become who I am today. Rasmussen University. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Florida.
This earful of Real Radio is sponsored by Wassey's Meat Market, the best place to buy a big green egg.
Filling in the gaps between the New York Times and World Star.
John Coop, good to have you on board. We appreciate you.
Big bad
John Coop. Be just like him. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com, learn about secret shows right now, uncensored shows, and there's almost 365 of them. Well, there is with bonus shows, but there's almost 365 main secret shows.
And that's one secret show for every email that I looked at last night on the secret shows.
Oh no, we get blown up
mailbox.
over there.
No, I just hadn't been there in a while. It was one of those things where, like, because we've like kind of like ping ponged different responsibilities to each other, and you've been doing all the sales emails, and I was like. I don't think anybody's looked at the secret shows one for a while. There's probably some pretty pissed off people there.
Yeah, they have technical difficulties from time to time, or this or that, or you help me with this, and
and now
here
I'm
we
like,
are.
Sean's in charge of the website now. I'll have to get him to figure out how to fix that for you.
No, I gave up.
Oh, okay.
I got a new developer. It's just too
I was going to
crazy.
say, did you backslide to the other person?
No,
Take me back, please.
No, I didn't have to do a groveling. Just please, I want to work with you again. I didn't have to do any of that. I just moved on to a different thing. Thankfully, got some experts because the website's way more complicated than anybody thinks. It's a very, very high-end, fancy pants website. Custom done.
I very much admired and respected your efforts to like dive into a book about whatever code that it's written in and try and fix some of those issues yourself. And then I remembered there's a whole like system of API calls and communication between our credit card processor and our website to handle secret shows. He has probably done none of that.
No, God, I worked on a little bit. I'm going to be more hands-on, but there's a new crew that's working on the website right now. It's in good hands.
Can't wait to meet them.
Yeah, they're great. You'll never meet them.
Never met the old crew.
Okay. They all live in India, so you're not gonna meet these.
We have backslid.
All we did was cut out the middleman. It was always somebody from India helping out. Okay, tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Hey, TNJ crew, podcast listener. I was the one who fell for the fake magnets that Kara and Casey had on their Jeep. We were staying in the same hotel. I was born and raised in Orlando. We moved to Marshville, North Carolina, population 2,500, in 2014 before Game of Magnets took off. My wife and I, on a whim, decided to go to Just OK 8. Having never really seen any magnets in the wild and my wife yelling at me to put them back before I got in trouble, I took the 2 magnets, he said. I did look at them funny since they were a bit smaller, but nonetheless, the game was played. We had a great time, and my wife has a newfound respect for Sabrina and her talents. Great show and good time. Trav and Amy Holmes, thank you both. We appreciate you.
Well, what about your respect for Ice Panda, Amy?
Yeah, we just completely glossed over
Did
that.
you finally get the song out of your head?
No, I'm still dealing with it.
I almost did, and then I had a dream about the song.
Yeah, it's annoyingly catchy, but I'm
sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, no, you did a great job. Brandy, the liquor gal, says, hi all to tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Want to thank you for such a fun show and an excellent Just Okay all around. Sabrina, your Barbie girl was fantastic. Toxic was the highlight, and I had to tell you how beautiful you looked. Great outfit, insanely awesome hair. Ice Panda, the best in the landa. You guys did an excellent job. I have to know, the inspiration for the Hey Jackson song was 2 on the nose for Stephen Lynch and Mark Tyke, your big fat friend. I want to F your sister, etc.
That is 100% the inspiration for that song.
Is it? Okay. Yeah. She said, I put this bet I have with my husband to rest, or please put this bet I have with my husband to rest. Thanks for such a great VIP experience, and thanks, Fritz, for signing the drumstick that I caught. Congrats on such a fun Just Okay. Thank you. Appreciate you.
I think I even texted you, I have a song idea similar to F Your Sister.
Yeah. It was great. It went over really well. I thought it worked. Let's just do the stories that didn't make the cut real quick and get the hell out of here. Amazon, big surprise, would like to make some more money. They would like to make some more money. So they're announcing the Amazon Big Spring Sale that could boost revenue by billions of dollars. And now they've got, what's the other one that they do? What's the big Amazon Prime Days? Prime Days is one of the other ones. Now they got the Big Spring Sale, all the Black Fridays, Cyber Mondays, all the ways to get you and your money to separate from each other. Carvana has made a U-turn away from financial abyss. Maybe they will come back. Maybe
they're driving out of the big car vending machine?
Yeah, they're doing, and instead of like collapsing in on themselves, they are driving out unscathed or only a little scathed at the moment. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Here we go. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Thursday, March 21st, 2024. And Snick says, does anybody have video of the Ice Panda performance? I missed the first part of it. We do have some. I think we'll play some on Secret Shows this week, though I'm not sure when we're going to be able to knock that out. And that's kind of up in the air right now. Here goes nothing. Today I learned Dionne Warwick, the famed singer, was upset with misogyny in rap lyrics, and she once sat down with this guy,
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg and Suge Knight at her home, where she demanded that they call her a bitch to her face. Snoop Dogg later said, I believe we got out-gangstered that day because they didn't have the balls to call Dionne Warwick a bitch to her face. I don't blame him. Today I learned there's a video game called The Guy Game, and it's considered illegal to own this. Why? Well, one of the actresses who was in this and in some explicit scenes in the Guy Game video game was 3 months away from her 18th birthday. Not so great. It's from a company called Top Heavy. I guess I see what they were going for there. The Guy Game. And some people got it still, I'm sure, but you're probably not supposed to. Today I learned this character right here. Batman is correct. Batman was created almost at the same time as the Black Bat, which was a Pulp Fiction hero. So similar that the publishers considered suing each other. They eventually found an agreement. The Black Bat wouldn't appear in comics, and in exchange, Batman wouldn't appear in pulp magazines. I'm ready for the crossover. Batman and Black Batman, that would be very cool. Bring that back right now.
I'm just ready for Black Batman.
Founding father Benjamin Franklin wrote an essay about farts. Said a letter to the Royal Academy was the main overall thing that he was writing. But he said you should fart loudly and proudly. And didn't know he was that big of a supporter of doing it. But
all right.
Ben Franklin, he did his founding father stuff, and he was super into the fart stuff. So there you go. That's what you have there. Josh, thanks for hanging out with us.
Hey,
we always appreciate you. You do such a great job, man.
I know.
And today I learned this song right here.
Dancing in the Moonlight.
That's right, Dancing in the Moonlight. It took being released not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 different times by 4 different artists to finally make Dancing in the Moonlight a #1 hit. It was originally written by Sherman Kelly, then recorded by Kelly's band Bofalongo. Then King Harvest made it a hit, and then it was done by Top Loader, and then it was done by Jubel, a Swedish EDM band that took it to the top of the charts. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place. Miss any of this show? Get the podcast at thenewsjunkie.com. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.